welcome back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 51. It's good to be back here. Welcome everyone to the CranKy Ducklings. I'm of course Show's Live VIP. With me I'm joined by the amazing people in the chat, by these incredible players, and by my lovely plushies as well. Welcome everyone, welcome to your weekly dose of open StarCraft here on the CranKy Ducklings. For those that are maybe unfamiliar, Sparkling Tuna Cup, it is a weekly open tournament. We have been hosting it for a number of years now, and it is great to be back here once again with another week, bringing together all of these regions, all these players. The bracket is stacked, exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. We have players like Cristiano, we have Geralt, we have Nikic, we have Wayne, we have Uwu Thermal as well. Mark is here for the first time making his debut, and we even have some Koreans in Control and Keen. Oh boy. So we'll be getting into it. We'll be going over the bracket once we wrap up this series, because spawning in the top left hand corner we have our red Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is Middle VK. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player, no longer Zerg, making the full conversion here from Zerg into Protoss. He has seen the lights, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Eva. Now I did ask Eva if we were completely switching to Protoss, and Eva did say yes, but may have been joking, may have been a little bit lighthearted there. I'm not fully certain. But for those who are maybe unfamiliar, Eba is, for the UK, is a Zerg player, was a Zerg player for a long time, is even an Epic Land champion. But over the past year, we have seen Eba off-race a lot as Protoss, has been embracing it a lot, and has been finding a lot of success with it, and has been enjoying it a lot more as well. From my understanding, playing Zerg can be frustrating at times, can be annoying at times, and Eva is just enjoying playing Protoss a little bit more instead. Has been embracing it that much more as of recent months, and yeah, now we have a PvP. Let's go. Yesterday we were live, of course, with the Logic Games, and we did cast Eba against Baby Marine in a PvT as well. So again, Eba has been consistently playing as Protoss for some time now, and whether it's a permanent switch or not, I feel like still yet to be determined. We'll see if Eva does it come back to the Zerg or commits to Protoss. We shall see. For now, we're going to be settling in across the map. We have Middle VK going for a double gate opener, likewise Eba doing the same as well. Now what's important here is that Eba actually doesn't really all-in much at all in PvP. We've been casting a lot of Eba's PvP against players like Middle VK, against players like Cristiano as well, and players like Geralt. And Eba often does go for a more heavy macro style, but very aggressive, very gateway heavy, I should emphasize, with Mass Blink Stalker, with Mass Charge Lots, usually making use of a stronger economy to overwhelm his opponent. And we'll see if we can get into that as we do go for our Nexus on the low ground. Both players are going to be expanding. Again, so far 2 gate openers, no faster tech, no delays on the expansion. So we're settling into our PvP. Alright, settling in. Again, I also apologize for the delayed start to the tournament, but we have things underway. We have begun, we won't stop. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I'm good. Meanwhile, Hallucinations Guy are going to be coming in, getting eyes on the Robo opener of Middle VK. Meanwhile, Eba going for the Twilight Council. We spoke about this before. We spoke about how Eba does typically like playing a mass gateway heavy composition with fast Twilight Council. Blink is going to be on the horizon here for a more mobile army. Meanwhile, Middle VK with the faster Robo can get into faster Immortal production and play a more defensive style. I say defensive style, this can turn into an offense. This can become quite aggressive if we commit with like 2-3 Immortals and move out. We'll see though, as for the time being, Middle VK is defending and expanding. Third base is being taken. We have sentries that defend. Hallucination Scout comes in. Hallucination does confirm third base. So Eva's fully aware of how greedy Middle VK is being and how defensive he's going to be set up as well. And back at home, Eva going for his own third base, slightly later than that of Middle VK by a couple of seconds. Not the biggest delay here for that third. As it is now being thrown down. Mindle, meanwhile, working towards his Immortal production. As I did mention, again, because Mindle won't have any Blink Stalkers, we have to make up for that with a Mass Immortal to help with that Stalker deficit. So the immortal count is going to be beginning, and it shouldn't be stopping anytime soon. Meanwhile, we do see Eva applying some pressure. He saw that his third base was later, so there is some onus on Eva to get some damage done. To move out and to pick off a sentry, a stalker, a probe, even some adepts. Speaking of, we will catch them. Ooh, one adept goes down. Force fields do catch 2 stalkers, and can we get away? Oh god! That's a lot of force fields, and we don't get a... Oh god! We don't get a single stalker. We do manage to get away. That was a bit much. That was 5 force fields being thrown down. Ooh, and this time it looks like we do catch some stalkers. It's going to cost us the rest of the force field. We get 1, we get 2, we get 3. Ooh, we get almost 4. As Blink does finish up in time. Much better catch there towards the end from Middle VK, catching 4 stalkers. And now we're going for a big counterattack. Eva back at him, getting ready with shield batteries on the way, additional stalkers as well. Hallucinating an immortal. Hoping to tank some shots. But the observer will confirm the fake immortal. Once again, good force fields, and we have control of the third base. We do see a couple of adepts shading in. Okay, we do deal with them, at least. But again, trying to break through this immortal is not going to be easy now. There's not actually much support anymore. We've been spending a lot of force fields, and now we're out of energy. We have 1 force field left, and Middle VK will retreat. Again, very mature decision. Once we realize that we're out of energy, that we're out of force fields, we're not going to try to press the issue. Otherwise, Middle VK would lose everything. So we pull back home, we establish our third base, we build up the immortal count, and we settle in from here. That is Glaives. Glaives are on the way. This tells us that Middle VK wants to be hyper aggressive here, reinforce with Glaive Adepts, and try to push in with immortal Glaives. This is going to be a very aggressive timing here from our red Protoss player. Eva is pushing in first, though. Glaives just beginning. And here comes Eva, now with Blink, and soon to be +1. Again, this +1 timing is going to be huge here for Eva. But breaking these immortals is not going to happen. He cannot break the third base head on. We can try to avoid the main army. Maybe pick off some sentries, maybe rotate into the natural. Eva has to back off. As he pulls back, he's working on the fourth base and working on charge lots. Again, Blink Stalker Charge is going to be his composition of choice, which is quite mobile and quite flexible. We can harass, we can counterattack. But again, this immortal count's getting quite hefty. We're working on our fourth immortal. Glaives is finishing. Here's that gateway explosion. Fourth base is going to finish up. We can see that Middle VK, he's not taking extra gases. And we're just waiting for our moment to commit. There we go. More depths are on the way. The War Prism is in production. Once the Prism comes out, then Middle VK, he's going to be committing. He's going to be moving out with everything he has. And it's going to be a tough hold for Eva. You can see Eva getting ready. We have a wall of cannons and shield batteries. Eva is aware of how much danger he's in. Did not take a fourth. And we could end up in a weird base trade here as the armies, they pass by each other. Adepts, they shade across the map. Eva is aware. Eva turning back around. He's caught on the low ground. He cannot push up this ramp. It's not going to happen. Eva turning back around. We don't commit to the base trade. And can Eva hold? Here we go. We see Eva coming in from behind the Prism. The War Prism is going to be sniped. Very nice catch there by Eva. Force fields are thrown down. We do catch a handful of Stalkers. But it looks like Middle VK just doesn't have enough to break through. He cannot reinforce. Takes down a pylon, but pushing into this wall of defense is not going to work. I could bypass the wall. Going for the shade. Quite commit. At the same time, charge as they head across the map. They hit the fourth base. Eva's still on 3, still has yet to expand. Very nice target firing there. We do get 8 probes across the map. Very nicely done. 8 workers full. From here, Eva can expand. There we go. It is a bit of a later fourth, but Middle VK isn't even mining from his own. So Eva is making up for that. And now we're moving out. We are moving out as Eva does counterattack. Mindle turning back around is forced to recall. Put out of position, forced to recall. We can see him collapse on the army on the right hand side, but Eva, he moves in towards the left. The recall is now on cooldown. We are picking off some workers. Co-workers go down. Eva does blink away with most of his army. Oh, bleeds out a couple of stalkers. Does bleed out a couple. Eva racing back home. Now taking a worker lead, establishing his 4th base. And now we can see Middle VK working towards charge +3, working away from the initial adept timing that he was trying to go for. That's a lot of immortals. Now, Eba's been skipping immortal production. We already have the Bay, we have a 2nd robot on the way, and we are working towards disruptors instead. Eba just having a bit of a higher tier army at this point. Stalkers struggle against immortals, but disruptors, they don't care. Immortals, they can't blink, they can't get away, at least not without a warp prism. Speaking of, the prism is on the right hand side. This nation does confirm that we can see Middle VK working towards phoenixes. Phoenix production from Mindle. And Phoenixes are a good alternate way to deal with these disruptors, because they can lift, I mean, they can lift. They can crowd control and CC these disruptors and strip away their potency here in the army. The downside, of course, is we have Mass Blink Stalkers, so we're gonna have to try to either commit to a dive or bypass the Stalkers to get onto those disruptors. A lot of this will come down to whether or not those purification novas connect, as we are on 3 disruptors for the time being. Zealot drop towards the natural. We should have a warping available at the same time the main army does push towards the 4th. Prism system, we force a recall. We force a recall into the main base. We go for the prism at the same time. Middle VK is pushing in. We have disruptors. First nova goes off, sends away the army. Stalkers back at home, they defend, they do not catch the prism. People are trying to. As here come those pieces! And they lift every single disruptor. Not a single nova will connect. And Eva, he has to back off. Does blink back, saves the disruptors. And they have novas. Oh my god, doesn't connect. But the pieces are going down. We've lost every single phoenix. And 4 disruptors survived. He was holding. Some of those things where Middle VK, he was able to lift up all the disruptors, but he wasn't able to kill them. Wasn't able to get on top of them. As we bleed out an immortal. Middle rotating on the right hand side. Switching over. Zealot warping as well, coming to harass. And the Nova! Ooh, big connection! Immortals, they can take a couple of Novas to the face. Does hurt. As finally we catch some of these disruptors at the same time, Zealot run by gets a kill on the 5th. Nexus is going to be going down. Eva forced to pull back home. I will say, though, that Eba does have the supply lead here, still has been able to out-trade his opponent. He's at a base, but still has a lot of disruptors here in the back line. And Mindle, he's still committing to Immortals, still trying to rebuild all these Phoenixes. There's have been some rough trades for Mindle. But coming in again. Oh. They're catching some Adepts. And here we go, the rest of the army is collapsing here. Eba sending everything across the map. He wants to go for the kill. Now Middle VK stuck on the back foot. Up. Raises an Archon, takes down a Stalker. Charger's going to be coming in. Ooh, but they take a big Nova to the face. Ooh, once again. Pulling back, knocking down those rocks. allowing his reinforcements to come in a little bit more freely. Looking at the armies, we have 6 Immortals, 5 Archons here for Mindle. That's a lot of Zealots. Trying to set up a flank. Doesn't quite get it. We can see Eba rotating over towards the 5th. Never goes up. Is denied. To get one connected with the army. Another massive connection on the Zealots. No! On the Zealots and the Immortals as well. Big connections. Ay, ay, ay. And we do catch a couple of these Disruptors. They've done well. We're barely holding on with a handful of these Immortals. Eba still on 3 Disruptors. He's ready to keep pushing. Ready to keep on going. Oh god! The Novas, they just keep connecting. Mana, is that you? You were here last night, you understand. Was it Mana or was it Geralt? Was it both? Charge, we'll take dive on forward. This time it looks like we do get on top of those Disruptors. And they're going to be lifted, they're going to be shut down. Much better engage here from Mindle. Gains up 3 Disruptors, but there's still 2 more. Oh my god. The splits are just not good enough. Mindle, he takes him to the face, going for his run by the right hand side. We have cannons, we have shield batters, we have an overcharge. But has enough to defend. The armies are still neck and neck. Even though we've had some good purification overs, at the same time, we've also been bleeding out a lot of Disruptors. At this point, it might even be worth Eba getting a 3rd Robo to make 3 Disruptors at a time. Especially if we're bleeding out this many. It's going up. We have 1 Nova left. And it does graze an Immortal, not the best connection. Ooh. Taking out some Zealots. Connecting with the Archon. Eba just cannot break the main army here of Mindle VK. I mean, it's so tanky with all these Archons and Immortals. We can take us like a good amount of Novas to the face and still keep pushing. It's the power of Mindle's army. It's just so tanky. I guess our goal here is to overwhelm Eba, to push past the Novas. Let's see if we can. We have a couple of shots left. East is doing well for themselves. They pick up a couple of the Disruptors. We're down to 2. Yeah, 2 Disruptors remaining. The Mass Archon ball breaking through. Mindle, for the first time in a long time, takes a supply lead. And now it's Eba's turn to be outscaled. Again, if he had been able to retain some of these Disruptors, then it would be a different story, but yeah, we're down to 3, and that's just not enough. Not enough to pierce this kind of armor. This kind of army. Nova's gonna be lifted. Gonna be denied. 3 Novas left. Decent connections. But Eba, he's bullied back. We get on top of the 4th base. The Nexus does go down. We're trying to engage with the army. Nova going off. Will connect. But Eba bleeds out 24 probes. And we have to keep pushing. We have to try to chase this down. Oh. Doesn't quite get the Immortal. Eba down to 4 bases. Mindle VK getting a 6th. Yeah, Mindle with his superior economy, he's just outscaling Eba here. Is just being outscaled. And we're going for the 4th base, the most crucial mining base here for Eba. Forced to recall. The Disruptors are exposed! Oh, this was not the recall we were looking for. GG gets called, and Mindle VK takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A solid win there for Mindle. Again, things are looking a little bit, things are looking a little bit, shaky early on, where Eba was able to outtrade his opponent, was able to get into his Disruptors as well, was doing well for himself, getting some very nice Novas. But eventually, this robust army of Middle VK got larger and larger with those Immortals, with those Archons, and eventually he was able to get into his stride, get up to 6 bases, or get up to 5, eventually 6. GG, well played. And in the end, Mindle will take a lead. Will take a lead, and we're getting ready for game number 2. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Sheshra Cheetah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session, I'm assuming. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the CranKy Ducklings, the Sparkling Tuna Cup. This is a weekly open tournament. Oh, and we're still in the early rounds. We're still in the first round of the tournament. Still in our first series. Plenty more StarCraft to come. Plenty more. Plenty more. Toast me, pal. Esther rowdy. Calm down. But yes, Eva is committed to Protoss. He is committed, and we'll see if we can get some more of Eva's Protoss here. Can we force the ace match? Can we go all the way to game 3? The pressure is on. And we're loading in. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have our red Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. Leading the series 1-0, it is Mindle VK. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player from the land of the UK, from the land of England, representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Eva. There we go. For some reason, my numbers weren't working. Beautiful. It's like my keyboard was spazzing out a little bit there, but we have our setup. We have our series score. Middle VK 1 game away for advancing on into the next round. Eva is up against the wall. Meanwhile, we have some updates happening on the bracket. Just quickly having a glance over. The tournament is progressing. Ooh. We'll see who's going to be one of our first to make it to the quarterfinals. Who will advance on? So far, it's going to be a 2-gate opener here. Double gate opener out of Middle VK. Double gate opener from Eva. We are opening up 2 gates. And we'll keep an eye on the initial units here. Do either player deviate and go into Adepts? Do we go into Double Stalker? Do we go Stalker Sentry? Again, Stalker Sentry openers have been very popular as of late, especially with the buff to the Sentry. It is a very safe way to open up and very secure. It has been the go-to for a lot of players. For those that are maybe unfamiliar, the Sentry buff was the Sentry is no longer a light unit. What that means is that the Sentry takes less damage from Oracles, it also takes less damage from Adepts. So, specifically in PvP, it's a little bit more robust. Also, the Sentry does bonus damage to shields. So, specifically, it's a buff versus Protoss players in PvP. Does bonus damage, and there it is, Stalker Sentry here by Middle VK, Stalker Sentry by Eva. And the buffs, they don't mean that, you know, the Sentry is being used in a mass amount in like these big armies or anything like that. It just means that in the early game, this opener is far safer. It also allows you to go for the Hallucination Scout as well, and it means that the Sentry itself isn't as vulnerable as it once was. So yeah, this is kind of the go-to. We do cancel the Stalker. Oh my god. Okay, Eva cutting corners, cancels the Stalker, goes for a slightly faster expansion. Middle VK's base is going to be slightly later here as he did invest into said Stalker. So Eva cutting some corners and is going to get a slight advantage as a result. Both players going for their Twilight Councils. Middle VK going for his own hallucination. They do pass by each other. Again, with these hallucinations, we can keep an eye on any kind of tech that we're working with, whether it's a Twilight Council, a Stargate, a Robo, a Dark Shrine. These hallucination scouts are so important here in PvP. I mean, I'm sure you're aware that there's a lot that Protoss players are capable of, and if it wasn't for these hallucinations, PvP would be a lot more chaotic. which, you know, it's a give and take there. You know, do we want it to be more chaotic? Do we want it to be even more of a coin flip? I mean, I think some people would like that. Of course, for the players, though, they wouldn't. So it's all about that scouting. We see all, we know all. With that, our players are settling into their 2-base setups. Going for a hallucination scout here. Towards the left-hand side. For those that are curious, if you hallucinate a probe, you actually spawn in multiple probes. It's a bit of a give and take. This is specifically good in PvP because it allows you to fan out your probes and catch any kind of proxy pylons or anything like that. The downside is, obviously, you're limited to the terrain. Unlike a Phoenix or an Oracle, you cannot just zoom wherever you want. So it's a good way to fan out and to find proxies of the sort. As it ups a shade into the main. Slips into the main base, gets 2 probe kills, but is going to be shut down. Can he get 1 extra probe up? Can we? We might be able to. We get a shot in, and it looks like we do not get the probe. 2 workers for 2 adepts. I would say a good defense here from MindoVK. Cleaner defense. Does minimize his losses. Both players building up towards their 3rd bases. Both players are selling in. So now we have charge on the way. Interesting, so we've gone from blink into charge from MindoVK. So this is a very stark contrast to what we saw in the previous game. If you remember, in game 1, MindoVK went for a robo opener into Mass Immortal, into a very kind of more robust, bit of a slower moving army, but a stronger army overall. Here we're going into blink into charge. This is a lot more akin to what Eva was playing with in the last game. And Eva is doing the same. So both players being very gateway heavy with Stalker Zealot. No one investing in 20 Immortals. Stalkers are moving out. We'll see where this does take us. Again, just trying to get some map control, some map vision. Eba taking another base. It looks like we're just fully embracing Archeona. Again, this map is known for its macro play, just because there are so many bases to take, so many bases to expand to. There's the center goal base, there's the fringe bases on the right-hand side, also towards the left, and the rich vesting gas geyser bases as well. And we often see this map cut in half. It does often happen. And we may be getting there once again. Now, MindoVK, he decides to delay his 4th. He has yet to expand, and instead, where do we spend that money? We spend it on an Immortal and on a Templar Archives, working up and building up towards Archons and Immortals once again. Meanwhile, Eba goes for a better economy. Expands. So Eba's still going to be committing here with the gateway composition. Not deviating yet. It's going to rotate around towards that natural, but Mindo's keeping up. Up! Despite that, we blink on in. Shibari gets focused down, and no more overcharge at the natural. The Immortal pops out, but it's going to be focused down. Nice catch there from Eba. Gets the Immortal. We come in for a concave. And MindoVK, he's in a bit of trouble. But with these reinforcements, with those zealots, it looks like we force Eba back. We force him out. Eba will have to retreat. MindoVK defense. And does hold on. Forcing back the army. I mean, that was still, I would say, a better trade for Eva in the sense that he got the Immortal at least. Did bleed out extra Stalkers. Got the Immortal, got a couple of probes. Eva still has an insane economy behind this with 70 workers. But here comes MindoVK, and Eva does miss the army. Doesn't see, he doesn't know, and do we go for a base trade? MindoVK is going to be pushing in, and do we recall back home, or do we push towards the 3rd? Army is spotted. Eba, we're pushing. We're going to be trading a base for a base. Eba's going to be losing his 4th, does evacuate, but he gets a kill on the 3rd. That is a more valuable base. Middle VK pushing towards the third base as well. He wants to go for the kill. Gets a pylon. Depowers static defense. Eba, he's recalling back home. Recall towards the natural. Middle VK was bleeding out some units, and I'm not too sure he can take this fight. He's going to try it. And charges are coming into reinforce. We have those 2 Archons in the back line as well. Probes are going down, but Eba, he can afford to lose some. And with Eba's reinforcements, he's going to be overwhelming this. There's just too much Protoss, blue Protoss even. With focus out the Archons, they go down one after the other. And only Stalkers remain for Middle VK. There's just not that many of them. And Eba, he saved his probes. Heavily oversaturated, but he did save them. So even losing the space, it won't matter. Because Eba has a fourth. Has a backup third. Across the map, Mindle lost his third base, lost his fourth base. He's stuck on 2 base saturation. Barely an economy here for Mindle. And Eba has double the probe count. Double the probe spot. Oh my god. We can resaturate. Getting our third up and running. Taking another base, long distance mining. Eba looking comfortable. If Eba hadn't been forced to recall, then maybe we could have entered like a more base rate scenario, and maybe Middle VK would have been favored there, potentially. But Eba just had the larger army. The better economy, everything here in favor of Eba. And now Middle VK coming in for the last push. The last hope for our red Protoss player. We dive on the army, focus down the Prism. Prism goes down. Mindle has almost nothing left. GG gets called, and we are going to the ace match. GG. Oh my god. We are going to game 3. Again, Mindle hyper committed, chose not to expand, chose to double down on Immortals and on Archons. The all-in, or the committed push there by Middle VK left a little bit to be desired there, just because he did lose the Immortal before the fight even started, if you remember. The Immortal died at the natural, so didn't even have that to make use of either, and yeah, just didn't have enough to actually make that all-in work. And with that, Eba ties up the series. Now we're going to game 3, to the ace match. Let's go. And then how does the story end? Who will make it into the quarterfinals? We have a couple players already in said quarterfinals, but there's no one waiting for this series, not yet. Other matches are still ongoing. Oh, and it looks like game 3 is going to be taking place on Golden Aura. Okay. Golden Aura is coming up next. Here we go, loading into the ace match. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our red Protoss player representing Storm Gaming, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Middle VK. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss. Was once a Zerg, but now has embraced the color from the land of the UK. Representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Eba. The mask is off. No more pretending to be Zerg. Oh, Smirch. Has left the swarm behind him. Embracing the Protoss. Smirch. Here we go. I mean, for a long time, Eba was basically like Raynor, where for certain matchups he would play Protoss and off-race. But Eba has taken it one step further. Likewise, Raynor has been playing more Protoss as well, as of late. Even against more than just Zerg players. Which has been interesting to see. been interesting. As for now, we do see Eva just patrolling around, scouting, confirming the main base. It is going to be a double gate opener here out of Middle VK, 2-gate opener out of Eva. There have been some players like Geralt and Christiana who have been, and even Mana, who have been mixing in max packs openers and more greedy economic builds in PvP, but it looks like neither Eva or Middle VK are one to embrace that. So there's no greed here. Just 2-gate openers. It's going to be Stalker Sentry out of Middle VK. An opener we've seen plenty of so far. Meanwhile, Eva opening up double Adept. And the question becomes, do we double down? It could just be 2 Adepts, or we could throw down a 3rd and 4th Adept. We go up to a 5th and 6th. We could even go up to 8 Adepts here. See how aggressive we want to be. Stargate behind this before the expansion. So Eva working towards Oracle, so it's going to be Adept Oracle Harass. But only 2 Adepts. As Eva does follow it up with Stalkers. Oh, hello! Meanwhile, Mindle throwing down a proxy gateway across, proxy pylon across the map. The Adepts are found out. Oh, the VK gets the first shot in. That's a lot of hits on that first Adept. We do shade away. But we have to respect that sentry. As again, sentries, they can now hold their own. They can now tank so many more shots here against Adepts. One Adept tries to shade in, but we do fully wall off. We hunt that Adept down. We even lock it down with the force field. Both Adepts fall. Meanwhile, across that, we can see Middle VK pushing up into the natural. Delaying reinforcements. He has control of the low ground. Island is done. Warp Gate is finishing. Meanwhile, in the main, Eva working towards the Oracle. There's reinforcements. Indle wants to keep the pressure up, but Eva gets supply blocked. Uh-oh. That's a pretty big supply block here for our blue Protoss. No reinforcements. Clutch force field. We lock down the army. The Stalkers, they're going to be going down. And Middle VK snowballing out of control. He shuts down 2 of those Stalkers. He has a massive Stalker lead. We see Eva desperately going for a big counterattack with the Oracle to try to get something done, but we have a shield battery. We have a shield battery in position. That's going to be a kill on the natural. Eva cannot save it. And with this shield battery, what can be done? We go for the stasis instead. We catch a probe. But this is not enough damage. Middle VK is expanding. And Eva stuck on 1 base. We're going to try and focus down the probe, and we can maybe get 1 up. Oh, not even. Worker survives. Hallucination Scout comes in. We get eyes on the Robo on the 3rd gateway. This is looking like a 1 base all-in. But Eva is forced into the all-in. What else can he do? What else can Eva do? Gateway will fall. Eva down to 2 gates. Soon to be 3. So we throw another one down. Breaks out. Mindle back at home working towards Blink. Oracle is still alive, still active. Here comes the all-in. Looking at the units tab, Eva has half the Stalker count, has an Immortal, has some sentries. The intercept comes in, and can we get the Prism? Oh, not quite. That would have been huge. Mindle forced a recall. We have a shield battery. 2nd shield battery. Oh, is denied. Didn't quite throw it down. We have the overcharge. Oh, we are holding onto it. So far, the Blink's not looking too bad. The overcharge is going to be popped. Good juggling here from Eva. But despite that, it's still being forced back. There's just too much here. We dive on the Prism. Prism is going to be targeted. Does fall. And Eva's going to bleed out every other unit here. GG, and Mindle VK will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played again. That was a brutal supply block for Eba where he just wasn't able to break out. Likewise, Mindle VK, hyper aggressive here from our red Protoss player. Just not allowing Eba to get into his game. To get into his setup. Again, it was a brutal moment where Eba invested heavily into, invested into that Stargate. The Stargate didn't do anything, wasn't able to get any damage done across the map, didn't even kill a probe, and that was a big investment, and again, it just didn't help when it came to dealing damage across the map or defending back at home. Mindle just took a massive lead there, and with that, GG. Well played. Well played. Mindle would take it, and Eba is going to be knocked out of the tournament. Again, this is a single elimination bracket, single elimination tournament. One shot, one chance is all you do have. And this also gives us a chance to have a look at the bracket, to have a look at the updates that have been going on and how the bracket has been evolving. Okay. From the top here, actually, from the top, we do have some updates from the earlier rounds. We do have Lidka taking down Joptimus 2-0. Did advance on the face-off against Christiana in that second round. So we have Christiana versus Lidka. We have Mindle VK waiting for the winner of that series, waiting for whoever comes out on top. Likewise, we have Geralt up against Gref in another PvP. Winner goes up against Uthermal. Uthermal has been competing as random. I'm actually not certain if he's still competing as random, though. In the most recent WTL matches, we saw that Uthermal did pick Terran. He didn't pick random. Did come up with the Terran instead, so I don't know if we're now playing as and competing as Terran again, or if we're going back to something else. Still uncertain. But exciting to see Uthermal here for the first time, making his debut in Sparkling Tuna Cup. Scrolling down, we have Wayne. Wayne just took down Dave Latos. Likewise, ooh, looks like Kerwin did give the forfeit to Dave Latos as well. So Wayne just advanced on into the quarterfinals. We have him waiting for either Nikic or Ashbringer in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Control took down Pop, Keen took down Control, and now we have a TBT between Keen and Nickrat. Honestly, that looks like a banger TBT. That does look like a lot of fun. I believe they've already started. I would love to cast them, but I believe they're already underway. And Nickrat did bring Rostock down 2-0 to advance on to face off against Keen. Again, that is the Korean Terran player. I mean, Control also another Korean Terran. But Keen has been a little bit more active in our tournaments, has been trying to shake the rust off and get back into the swing of things. Of course, last week we did see Keen come second. He came second to Nightmare. Did claim that second place. And we'll see if he can replicate that success or even exceed that and go even further. Let's go. Finish versus Ash. So when it comes to our plan here, we can try to wait for Mindle VK's next opponent, but it looks like Cristiano just started versus Lyrica, so they did just begin. So we're gonna have to wait quite some time. Geralt is up against Gref. We could maybe try to cash their series going into Uthermal. It would be a lot of fun to cast Uthermal, not gonna lie, would be a lot of fun. There's also Nikic versus Ashbringer, which I believe is currently mid-series. But I can see them out of game, so maybe they finished? I'm trying to get an update on Nikic versus Ashbringer to figure out what is going on there. And again, Keen versus Nickrat, I would love to cast that, but I believe they already started, they're already mid-series. So yeah, we'll try and find ourselves. We're going to be going on a short break. I'll try to message some players, figure out where we're going, and we'll find our next series. Until then, see you soon. Gonna be going on a short break. Take this moment to get some snacks, get some water, take a break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes with some more StarCraft. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 51. We have found our next series. We have our next match. We are here in the quarterfinals, and the mirror matchups continue. There's a TVT going on in the bottom half of the bracket. We just wrapped up a PvP, and now we are here with a ZVZ as well. We're here to determine who is going to be the last Zerg player in the tournament. We have 2 left, and only 1 will make it to the semifinals. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Post Youth, we have our red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of Belarus. It is Nikic. The hell with the vetoes. Post Youth all maps. Okay, I'm here for it. I'm ready. Now I'm a little bit greedy here. For those of you that were here last night in the Logic Games, there was 0 Zergs. So there was 0 Zerg players in the event, or that we were able to broadcast in the event. It was purely Protoss and Terran, so I'm a little bit Zerg deprived right now. I would love to cast at least some Zerg while I can. And to be fair, I'm sure we're going to be seeing some more later on in the night in WTL. But I want to embrace them while I can, even if it is in said ZVZ. And interesting, we do see Nikic opening up gasless, by the way, a much greedier opener here, going for the pool hatch into the gas. I mean, pool first, by the way, from Nikic. Interesting. Meanwhile, Wayne on the other side is going for a hatch gas pool. Standard opener from Wayne. A bit of a more different variation here from our blue Zerg player. I'm curious how we do embrace this. We have 6 Lings on the way. They're going to be moving out across the map. Can they get much done? Can they force an overreaction out of Wayne, as Nikic is going to be joining up behind us? Queen on the way. Additional drones should be on the horizon as well. Our first wave of Lings moving on out. Again, Nikic more known for his aggressive nature in the ZVZ. But so is Wayne. I do think that they can have some similar play styles here, so I'm ready for it. We have our initial 6 Lings moving out. Back at home, Wayne does confirm this with the Overlord. Is aware. Is getting ready with his queens, with his defensive Lings. Nikic heading into the mineral line. Looking for a drone, and so far doesn't get one yet. A nice mineral drilling there from Wayne. Yeah, the Lings have arrived. We do deny some mining time, but we should clean this up. And Wayne can go back to mining. The drones! Ooh, as we finally get one! One drone goes down here at the natural in the hybrid base. And with that, Nikic takes a slight worker lead, but I believe Wayne should be catching up. And the game is going to be settling from here. The game is going to be settling from here as we are headed into our Ling speed. We don't pull out of gas to make up for our bit of a later gas geyser. And we are rushing into a lair. Oh my god, I was curious, what is this gas going to be spent on? And we can see we have a fast lair. We have a second gas geyser on the way. I'm curious if we're going to be throwing down a Roach Warren. I'm curious if we throw down more gases and go 2-base Muta and 2-base Spire. That would be interesting. We could go for a Nidus base all-in as well. We have options. For now, we have a Roach Warren to get a full wall off here on 2 bases. We are pulling into that gas. I'm feeling, and I'm leaning towards a Nidus all-in. 3rd gas is being taken. No 4 gas set up yet. Just waiting for that layer. Well, there we go. 4 gases, never mind. Are we going into a Mutas? Are we going into the Spire? We have plus on melee. I'm feeling the Muta, Papi. I'm feeling it. Meanwhile, Wayne going to be responding to this build with greed. We're going for the gold. 3rd base is being taken as the gold. Lair is done. Show me the Spire. There it is. Mutas are going to be on the horizon. So Nikic is going 2-base Muta. Meanwhile, back at home, Wayne is saturating that gold base, maynarding as quickly as possible. We'll take advantage of it. Overlord goes down, even supply blocking Nikic. And Wayne has still to piece it together. Now, he's aware of at least a 2-base play. He saw the lair, so there are options, right? It could be into fast Roach speed into a Roach all-in. It could be a fast Spire. It could be Nidus. The problem is, because Wayne saw the lair, he can recheck this wall, and if he sees the Roach Warren isn't researching, then he knows that that gas is being spent elsewhere. But now we're flooding Lings. Lings are masses, Ravagers have morphed in, and here we go, we're pushing! We're going for our own all-in. So Wayne, he's cut workers, he has a focus saturation on the gold base and on the gold minerals back at home. He's moving out with Ling Ravager, the Spire is about to finish. Spire is almost done. Lings are trying to buy some time, keeping these reinforcements back at home. Again, Wayne does not want to slow it down. We have 8 Mutas on the way. Oh! Gonna force a cancel. We do deny that 3rd. We're pushing in towards that main. And with these bots, we should be able to knock down that Spire. Sorry, that Spine. Spine Crawler does fall. We flood into the main base. The mutas pop out, but it's too little too late. The mutas, they just don't have enough DPS to focus on these roaches, these ravagers, and these lings. As every single drone is going to be going down. By the time the mutas clean this up, it's going to be too little too late. We're going for the Spire. The Spire is going to fall as well. And Nikic caught with his pants down. Trying to play 2-base muta, but Wayne was so quick to respond with an all-in. As he kills the Spire, going for the lair, going for the spawning pool as well. The lair does fall. The spawning pool went down to 1 base. We piled down an Overlord towards the end. And Nikic, he's down to 5 workers. That's all he has left. 5 workers, 11 lings, 10 mutas, and a dream. Back at home, we have a spore. I mean, that's all we need. We need spores and queens. Spores and queens is all we need. The queens rotate around. Spores are finishing up. We do take control of the gold. And we do pick up some of these overlords. Yeah, you can see Wayne pulling back. I mean, to be fair, Wayne doesn't have to. He doesn't have to save it. Doesn't have to save this base. He just settled into his 2-base setup instead. That's still a better economy than Nikic. It's still a better setup. As the gold base does fall. Nikic, he is getting damage done, but he needs more. Chip away the infestation pits. Does get low. Wayne going for a counterattack. Expanding, taking a third. The wall is slowly bleeding out. These things, they won't be able to break through. Thanks to the glaives from those mutas, we are able to shut them down. Can Nikic make a game out of this? I mean, we're holding on true. I mean, the mutas do give us map control. But Nikic has so much recovering to do. He's still only on 9 drones. He's making lings. We can't afford lings right now. Aye, aye, aye. He's crazy. Diving into the main. Denies the spore. But the infestor is out. Ling's getting us around. We do catch a queen. Not just 1, we get 3. Oh my god. We get 3 queens. Then we take a fungal to the face. The chain fungal is there, but there's no follow-up. We have 1 fungal left. Ooh. Does miss. Doesn't quite connect. But that's 8 mutas. Alright, down to 8 mutas. Nikic, he slips into the main base, going for some drone kills, and he will catch some. Nice whole position micro in the mineral line. 5 drones go down. More mutas here on the left-hand side, getting not quite another drone. But again, throughout all of this, Nikic has not been droning, has not been saturating, so eventually he will be outscaled. Wayne, again, hasn't been able to move out because of the mutas. But there's a Hydrogen, and we land the fungal! Fungal does connect. We have 4 mutas left. GG gets called as we bleed out all of our mutas, and Wayne will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Wayne does take the first game. Does take a lead in this series. But that was also a really unique game. That was also a unique game just because we saw Nikic trying to make 2-base muta work there. I mean, Post-Youth is one of those maps where you can be a little bit risky like that. You can be a little bit greedy, tech-wise. But alas, he was punished, wasn't able to get away with it. And now we're getting into game number 2 on Oceanborn. And I don't expect 2-base muta here. That's not going to happen. Rush distance by ground is now much shorter on this map, so you can be more aggressive. We could be seeing 2-base play, but mutas, I'm not really feeling. Here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle, leading the series 1-0. It is Wayne. One game away from advancing on and spawning in the top left-hand corner, going for a 12 pool. That's gonna be a short series, Pappy. Let's go. Going for the 12 pool, we have our blue Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of Belarus. It is Nikic. Here we go. Now, a 12 pool isn't necessarily an all-in. There are all-in versions where you go for the 12 pool, you pull the boys, and you spine rush across the map. So there are all-in variations, but a 12 pool can just be to get an economic lead and expand. So again, there are different versions of a 12 pool. We're banking up that larva. Lings are on the way. 6 lings in total, and we're expanding. So again, this is just to get a couple of drone kills to get ahead and to macro. This is the more macro variant of 12 pool. Hatchery is being taken, lings are moving out, and Wayne should get eyes on this. Do you see Nikic hiding some of those lings? Does reveal only 4. 4 lings are revealed, the others are skirting around the edge. Wayne not fully aware of how committed this is going to be. Not yet. Not until now. Where he does confirm. Additional lings on the way. Now Wayne, he needs to defend this natural. He's got his own lings. He's got his own queen setup here. Also, my apologies. It looks like Wayne went for a faster spawning pool. I was focusing so much on what Nikic was opening up with, but Wayne did go pool first. That's why he's already got his lings. That's why he's already got his queen. That's why ling speed is a little bit later here for Wayne. So a very nice read from our red Zerg player. Going pool first. You see we're trying to collapse on the queen. But good use of it, just tanking some shots. Lings able to engage. And with this, the queen barely goes down. Nice win for Nikic. You won't get much more than that, but killing a queen is a pretty big deal. And oh, do we get a drone? Up! Up! Oh my god. Not quite. We don't get the worker, but with that, the game is going to settle down. Again, as a reminder, because the gases were a little bit later for Wayne, it means that ling speed just now started, and Nikic should be walling off. The goal here for Nikic should be just to wall off this natural and play 2-base. 2-base Roach, ideally. The reason why 2-base Roach is a common follow-up to a 12 pool is because your gases are so late. The gas guys are just now finished for Nikic, and because your gas is so late, it's not really worth investing into ling speed. It's not really worth investing there, so you may as well just skip ling speed, skip banelings, and go into Roaches. That's the rationale for walling up and playing 2-base. Likewise, you can't take a third because your opponent has ling speed, so if you try to expand and try to be greedy, then you're going to be punished for it. Speaking of being greedy, Wayne, he cancels ling speed, rushing into a lair. Okay, very fluid play here out of Wayne, recognizing the build, recognizing that Nikic would be walling off, so he cancels ling speed, he knows he doesn't need it, going straight into the faster lair, into his own Roaches, into his own 2-base Roach play. So 2-base Roach versus 2-base Roach. I have to give the edge to Wayne a little bit. So Wayne will have faster Roach speed. Nikic will, I mean, +1 range is pretty on par with each other. Pretty comparable timings. And Nikic is just stuck re-droning. Trying to get into his own lair. And there it is, lair is on the way. For Nikic. Wayne taking a faster third. Makes sense. Wayne has a slightly more map control than Nikic. So we'll take the faster third, building up towards Roaches. And Wayne can try to hit a timing with these upgrades with +1 and with Roach speed. Or we could just drone. We'll see. For now, we're cutting workers at 42. We're amassing Roaches. Nikic is taking a slightly later third. But neither player has been droning. just amassing Roach. And we're soon to butt heads. I say that. There we go. Wayne is the first to start droning. Making a wave of workers. Nikic has yet to invest. Still only making roaches. Now this is dangerous. If Wayne drones up too much, he can just die. Like this is a problem here in DBZ, is that your production, you're making lava. If you're making drones, you're not making roaches. Here comes the initial push. Wayne has droned up to 50 against the 41 of Nikic. Now, Nikic, he's only posturing. He's not really looking to commit too hard. Has a pretty formidable army, but Nikic is droning behind this. He's not going all in. They push forward. We have plenty of roaches and ravagers to defend. Here we collapse on top of the army. Ooh, roaches are bleeding out. And this is not a fight to take. Nikic, he shouldn't have committed here. We spoke about it. He just needed to posture. Oof. It's going to cost him a lot of roaches. And roaches are going down. We bleed out every single one. Knows how many roaches falling? 13! 13 roaches thrown away. In a mirror matchup, we can't afford those. We can't really afford those kind of losses. Can't afford to trade that poorly. Wayne is moving out. We get the contamination on roach speed. Let's go. Oh, we tried to, but roach speed did finish. Did complete. Did finish just in time. Wayne now threading that natural. It's going to be Wayne's turn to overextend a little bit here. To help those Ravagers, he can still bully back the army. Roaches, they slip into the main base. Drones are going down. Yeah, this is really just a distraction for Wayne. Keeping Nikic busy. 4 workers do fall. And now we get on top of the queens. Oh, we deny the morphs. We deny the eggs. The production. GG gets called as Wayne snowballs out of control, punishing Nikic, and Wayne will advance on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here as Wayne does advance on into those semifinals. And apparently, Wayne has an opponent waiting for him. Let's go. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. We can see those updates. I was looking forward to Nickeract versus Keen, and we have those updates. Nickeract brings down Keen 2-0. Didn't even go to the ace match. But Nickeract is victorious. He does bring him down. And up next, we have Wayne versus Nickeract in the lower semis. Let's go. Let us go. And I have to message some people. Do have to message some of these players to make sure I don't get left behind. Sure, we're all good. Okay, meanwhile, when it comes to other updates coming in, sorry, I was a little bit hyperfixated on the lower half of the bracket there, but we have another update. Geralt took down Euthermal 2-1. Impressive here for Euthermal, as he did force Geralt to the ace match. Geralt, I would say, is one of the stronger up-and-coming Protoss players out there in the European region. You know, just under players like Skillus, you have, you know, Geralt, you have Christianer, you have a lot of these other bigger names kind of vying for that upper echelon of Protoss in Europe. And yeah, to take a map, that is not easy. That is not an easy feat from Euthermal, so very impressive stuff. Did go down, but didn't go down without a fight. So GG, well played. Did take a map there. Geralt is going to be waiting in the upper bracket, and he's waiting for the winner of Christianer and Middle-VK. Oh boy, I've been here before. We do have our Polish Protoss players and Mindle, of course, in that upper half of the bracket, but we will not have a PvP finals. There's going to be a Zerg or a Terran. Which one? Yet to be determined, as Wayne versus Nickeract is going to be coming up next on the stream. Do you need a moment to set things up? Do need a moment. It does look like our players, they need some time to prepare, to take a moment to take a breather. And I don't blame them. Do not blame them whatsoever. But it looks like, yeah, Wayne versus Nickract is going to be right around the corner. We're going to be going on a short break before we embrace that. As a reminder as well, before the finals, we do also have a random raffle. There is going to be a random raffle that we do host. For those that are curious, we have a raffle to give 5 USD to a random player. The only criteria is, of course, they have to have competed in today's tournament and not forfeited. If they forfeited, then they won't be eligible for that random raffle chance to win that 5 USD. So yeah, that's the only kind of criteria. Outside of that, anyone can win some extra money. It could be a finalist, it could be someone that got knocked out in the first round, it could be Eva, or it could even be Wayne or Nickract that does walk away with a bit of a bonus on top of that prize money. So yeah, that is something to bear in mind. We're going to be having that later on before those finals. Until then though, we're going on a short break. Just allowing our players to prepare themselves before we dive into Wayne versus Nickract. We're getting there. Oh. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 51. Ooh, the vetoes are done. Lobby has been made, and we're diving into our first semifinals of the night. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the last remaining Zerg player in the tournament, representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the last remaining Terran player in the tournament, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicaract. Here we go. We have one final Terran, one final Zerg. There is a Protoss confirmed for the finals, yet to determine which Protoss, but it will be a Protoss player. Whether it's Middle VK, Cristiano, or Geralt, yet to be determined. We'll dive into the upper semifinals after this series here. As a reminder, both semis are casted for this tournament, one after the other. Ooh, as we do see Wayne going for the hatch first. We're loading into post-youthable maps. Interesting. Again, we're seeing post-youth a little bit more often here today. I'm used to seeing this map vetoed more often than not, but here tonight we're seeing it in a couple of interesting matchups. In the ZVZ earlier, now in the ZVT. You see Nicaract going for a Rax expand. We have seen some Terran players go CC first on post-youth, but we can see that Nicaract does not want to take that risk. He's not taking that risk, he's not taking that chance, going for a much more standard opener instead. Well, also, before I forget, before I get ahead of myself, if you're in the chat, predictions are going to be open. Place your bets on who you believe will make it into the grand finals, who will be our first player in that top two. Will it be our Zerg or our Terran? Will it be Nicaract or Wayne? It will be up to you to decide. Moment. Just setting that up here, and boom, there we go. So yeah, predictions are open in the chat. Best of luck. Get your gamba going if you wish. Leave that message. Predictions open. Beautiful. As from here, Wayne getting into his third. Again, Hatch Gas pull into a third. Nothing too crazy from our Zerg player. Reaper has arrived, and it's on Wayne to minimize his losses to make sure this Reaper doesn't get out of hand. And we should be able to maintain our two-base setup. As Nicaract rotates over towards the natural, gold minerals are being prioritized. And we're going for the drone. Oh, we don't quite get a quick sport trick there from Wayne, saving the drone. And behind this, Nicaract going for a third CC before factory. Okay, I spoke about not being greedy before, and Nicaract did go for a Rax expand, but that is a CC, not just before the starport, before the factory as well. A much greedier build here. 3 CC, 3 Rax? Wait, sorry. 3 CC, yeah, 3 CC, 3 Rax. Oh my god, Nicaract, you don't see this build too often against Zerg. We've seen this a lot against Protoss as of late. We saw a lot of this last night even as well. This has been a very trendy build against Protoss players. I've yet to really experience this against Zerg players, or at least not too often. So the way this works, of course, is that Nicaract is going to be building up towards a sim timing. Against Zerg, it's, especially on post-youth, I imagine we won't be hitting that sim timing. I imagine we're going to be hitting a medevac timing instead. The downside of this build here for Nicaract in this matchup means that there's no contention for the creep. That's the biggest downside here for this build, is that there's no Hellions, right? There's no Hellions to apply pressure, to focus down some creep tumors, and to threaten the mineral lines. Wayne can freely drone and freely spread creep. So that is the dangerous thing here. As the Overlord dips in, the Overlord gets eyes on all the Marines, and we also get eyes on the third CC as well. So Wayne is now aware of the greed of Nicaract, and is also aware of the lack of Hellions. Oh, interesting. This is very much so Wayne. So what do we go for? Going for a Roach Warren. Now, one of the a big rationale for this, I imagine, is because how greedy we've been. There's no tanks. There's no factory production. The factory's finishing up now, but this should be for the starport, for an add-on swap into reactor starport, into a reactor starport into medevacs. But again, there's no backbone to this army. It's purely Marine. So committing into a heavy Roach Ravager army can do quite well here. And we can deny the third. We can deny the third over and over again. Double lever chamber behind this for upgrades. Gases are being taken. We're spreading creep to our heart's content. Marines move out. Third is on the way. We spoke about it before, but there's that add-on slot being ready for Nicorette for those medevacs. And Nicorette will soon be active on the map. It's coming. Eventually, he'll be able to break out. Until then, Wayne still building up. He's going to be +1 range to help support his roaches. Roach speed is now on the way. We've drawn up to 3-base saturation. We could even get a 4th from here. Speaking of, there it is. 4th base is on the way. Continuing to spread that creep. And we can see that we should still be droning from here. I'm curious if we drone up past 66. That's my kind of big tell here for how aggressive Wayne wants to be. As the medevacs, they finally arrived. With the arrival of these medevacs, now we can move out. We can be active on the map. Nicorette is pushing towards that 4th base, which he has scattered with the Reaper. We stem on in. We're going for the hatchery. Queens are in position. Roaches as well. Can we focus it down? We can! Up! We force the cancel. Whew. Nice pick off there from Nicorette. Denying the 4th. And we'll see if we can deny it for a 2nd time. Roach Ravager has been revealed. We have not made a drone in quite some time. We're still only on 63 workers. Focusing on Roach Ravager. Tumors are focused down. The Queen's not too far behind to respread that creep. And Wayne is now droning. Not just droning, also working on a hive. Hive is on the way. Gold base is being saturated. Hive should be for, I imagine, lurker tech. We'll see. As we don't get +2. Okay, if we went for +2 range, and I would assume we would be working towards Hydra Lurker. But with +1 melee, we could actually switch gears and go into Ultras instead. Baneliness is on the way, yep, so we're going to be trying to transition into Lingbane Roach Ravager. Infestors to support. Wayne's gold was delayed, but now it's up and running. And again, you can see the power, or I shouldn't say the power, like the difficult thing here about this build of choice from Nicorette is the creep is getting out of hand. We're now controlling half of the map, and we're going further than that. Nicorette stuck at home, getting his own 4th CC. Settling into his biotank. And don't get me wrong, Nicorette is trying to be active with these drops, but there's only so much he can do. As Wayne is soon to max out. Nicorette likewise does on siege. He's pushing. Okay, we've got 1-1. We have Stim, combat shields, 3 tanks. And show us the Fungals. With Fungals, they will connect. 1 tank goes down. But the others do siege. Big volleys go off. There's that Ultra Cavern that we spoke about. Once we saw that +1 melee. Gold base has to be evacuated. Good tank positioning here for Nicorette within range of the gold. Do deny some of those Ravagers. Baleen speed not quite done. Our goal here is to force back all the creep and get a kill on this hatchery. See if we can. Wayne getting ready for a counter-attack. Gold base being taken by Nicorette. Gold base is on the way, but the Lings are here. They will deny it. The SCVs! Oh, they came in a little bit too soon. The base is under fire, and Nicorette does have to turn back around. Does leave the tanks exposed. We're going in. We're going for the tanks. Blinding Cloud gets thrown down. And the tanks, they will be cleaned up. We cannot engage with the bio, though. As we're going to try and push in. Wayne, he will pile down some of those medevacs, but we bleed out a lot of the Lingbane. But the Fungal does connect. The Ultra's coming in. We come in for the hunt with the Ultra. Oh my god, does not have kindness plating. Yeah, the Ultras, they melt. Nicorette trying to break through, gets on some of the base, gets on some of the hatchery, but we're running out of steam. Again, we took some massive Fungals to the face. Tank goes down. Not just one. Second tank as well. And even if this base goes down, Wayne, he has double expanded. He catches the final tank. And Wayne holds. Wayne, he barely holds on. And Nickrack lost so much in that assault. Does have a gold base. Thankfully, it is a planetary. But Nickrack, he needs more time to recover. And those ultras, they're coming. They're amassing as we speak. We have +3 carapace on the way. This time, kindness plating is done for Wayne. We're just waiting for our reinforcements to arrive. More ultras on the way. Ultras are on the way. We do catch some of the Ravagers, though. Ooh, Wayne, a little bit late to react. Leaves out 3 Ravagers. Now we mainly have a Ling Ultra army with our spellcasters. Do we lose the Infestors? We have not. Infestors, they're still in the mix. They still have energy. Vipers are coming in. And looking at our defensive position, 0 tanks. 0 tanks here defending the gold. We have Liberators on the way instead. And Liberators will do well. Like, there's no anti-air, true. But we don't have that many, and we come in for the power bombs. And Wayne, he has maxed out, lands the fungal. We don't quite commit yet, waiting for more Banelings. Liberators have arrived. Can Nickrack recover? I mean, he needs more time. Time that I don't think Wayne is going to give him. He is now maxed. Nickrack double expanding, getting his 5th. His base is getting up and running. Wayne on 83 workers. Here come those Vipers. Coming for the yoink. Liberator is yoinked. Ghosts are coming, and we throw down the blinding cloud. Good snipes on the first ultra. But there's just too much Ling Bane. There's just too much of a swarm here. The planetary goes down. Again, Nickrack, he barely has the economy behind this. Has it back up 4th. Can Maynard over. Oh, the Queen. Gets the lip. And you can see Wayne just double down and remax on more Ultras, more Lings. We have a couple of Ravagers on the way that will help with the Liberators, as Liberators are stationary. So they can be wild. Ooh, this choke point is brutal. We snipe 2 of those Ultras. We get the fungal! The flanking fungal, and it's not going to be enough to break this. Well, the Biles, they do connect, and that's going to be enough. We bust into the mineral line once again. The planetary is not done. GG gets called, and Wayne will take game number 1. GG. Wayne will take it. Again, Wayne had a much more comfortable start in this game. Nickrack maybe being a little bit too greedy. We saw the 3cc3 racks does give the Zerg player a lot of freedom there, and Wayne was able to freely expand, spread his creep, drone, and he may be forced to cancel the 4th base that one time, but outside of that, he was able to hold on. Able to make use of that Roach Ravager. And take it from there. And with that, Wayne is now 1 game away from advancing on to the Grand Finals. Can Nickrack bounce back? I'm hoping he can. I'm hoping for an ace match. I want to see us go the distance here. But again, post-youth leads to some more odd builds or interesting builds and interesting playstyles because of the map itself. Now we're loading into something a little bit more standard. We're loading into Alcyone. Let's go. None of this pocket hybrid base. None of the, I mean, there is the gold. There are gold bases on this map. True, true. Can take them down the line. Early on, we should be seeing more standard play. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone. We have our red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. Leading the series 1-0. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes down in this series. Can he bounce back? It is Nickrack. Going for 2x Reaper? Okay, got my attention. I was expecting a bit of a more standard game here, but no, Nickrack is spicing things up. We do have the racks on the low ground. This should be a 2-Rax Reaper build. The goal of this build is to delay the third base and to contain the Zerg player on 2 bases for as long as possible. Much more aggressive opener here out of Nickrack. Here comes the second SCV for the second Rax, and it is on the way. So again, 2-Rax Reaper. There are more committed variations and versions of this. If Nickrack throws down a third Rax in the main, then he can go 3-Rax Reaper. He can just double down, commit that much harder, and be hyper aggressive. But this should just be 2-Rax Reaper into an expansion. And this, in the mid game, does more seamlessly lead into a 2-on-1 with a factory and a starport and a medevac push. It can lead into a 4-Rax. That is also a viable option here for Nickrack, or even a 3-Rax later in set, once we expand. So we'll see where this takes us as our Reapers are on the way. Now, ideally, Nickrack only wants to make 3 Reapers. 3 Reapers is going to be enough to contain and to delay the third. If Wayne is greedy and if Wayne tries to take this third base nonetheless and throws it down, then Nickrack needs to make an additional wave of Reapers to make sure he does force a cancel. We got our first Reaper is moving out. We have 2 more behind this. Back at home, Wayne going hatch gas pool. Wayne does confirm with the Overlord that it is 2-Rax Reaper, so he should stay on 2 bases and prepare himself. We have an extra pair of Lings on the way. Queens are in production. Reaper dips in. The dance has begun. And Wayne shouldn't lose any drones here. Shouldn't, but we'll see. As we do almost get a Ling. Oh my god. There we go. 1 Ling goes down. Not a bad start for Nickrack, and he's checking for the third. He checks the triangular third location. He's going to check the linear third location. Does confirm that we're stuck on 2 bases, and that means that we can transition. There it is. Reactors are on the way. Tech Lab on the way behind this as well. Again, 3 Reapers is all we need. And Wayne is stuck on 2 bases a little bit longer. Once Ling speed kicks in, then Wayne can shut down these Reapers. Until then, is going to be contained. Oh, as Nickrack is following this up with a 3cc. Okay, we do have a third command center on the way. So this is going to be a 3cc 2-on-1 setup. So very economic behind this. Not hyper aggressive. I spoke earlier about how when it comes to the follow-up, we can see like a 3-Rax or even a 4-Rax. Or more straight up 2-on-1. But no, Nickrack is working towards a longer game. Working towards a macro game. And now finally, Wayne can expand. We have Ling speed. Finally, the expansion's on the way. See Wayne trying to catch those Reapers. Unable to, though. They will slip away. And from here, we should be stabilizing. Wayne should be focusing on droning and catching back up. Roachborn is on the way here for our Zerg player once again. And Nickrack is going to be very bio-heavy with this composition. I say that. That's a Tech Lab on the way, not a Reactor. And are we going for an add-on swap into fast Banshees? Looks like we are. Okay, so this is really nice. This is something that we see a lot from Bjorn and Maru. I mean, all players that have adopted this build and this opener have been mixing this in. And, oh, never mind. Never mind. Wait, what? Wait, what? What was the purpose? Okay, so I assumed we would be seeing an add-on swap to go into Banshee production, which would have been really cool because Banshees would be able to shut down the Roach play, as Roaches are amassing for Wayne. He's making Roaches, he's making Lings. Wayne, he's cut workers here at 41, and Banshees would be ideal against this, but for now, we just see Nickrack, he's scouting with his Reaper, going for a fast tank instead. Which means it didn't have to add on swap like that, but it's all good. Going into early tank production. Medevacs are on the way, and Wayne is going all in. Wayne is going to be going all in with this. The goal here is to knock down the wall with the Ravager Wiles. Lings will flood in thereafter. Again, the reason why Wayne is going for this as well is because tank production has been delayed because of the build. Or factory production, I should say, has been delayed. Oh, and Nickrat is expanding, taking his third. Nickrat doesn't know. He hasn't seen the lack of saturation. Again, looking at his vision, Nickrat, he did not go in far enough. He did not see the fact that there is no drones at the third. He doesn't know. And he's put, now is not the time to move out. Uh-oh. Nickrat, he's moving out on the map. Is spotted by Wayne, and we collapse on the army. We're going for the surround. We force the stem. And Nickrat, he's bleeding out far too much. The tank caught out of position. And we have to evacuate. We have to give up on the third base. There's no saving it. And even holding on to the natural is going to be difficult. Okay, we have 2 tanks. We have 2 tanks sieged. Files, they take down one of the tanks. The 3 Ravagers. The Ravagers, they take a lot of damage. And we felt. Looks like we have held for now. Again, 3 Ravagers went down. That was a big misstep for Wayne. So Wayne is droning. Wayne is finally droning up. And he needs to delay this third base. Yes, if he's no! The FCs coming too soon. We collapse on top of the tanks, and this time we do get us around. Files won't quite connect. I'll pick up there from Nickrat. We bust into the natural base. The wall, no longer a wall. GG gets called. Wayne was droning up, by the way. He had accepted that he couldn't break the natural, but Nickrat, a little bit too ambitious, moves out, exposes himself, and Wayne will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here as Wayne will advance on. Again, Nickrat had held, but did move out. He moved out a little bit too soon to expand. The wall was down, the army was exposed, and Wayne took advantage of Nickrat in that moment and does close it out. GG. Congratulations. Wayne is going to be our first player in the grand finals. But who will join him? Who will face off against Wayne in those finals? We're here to find out. Exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat. If you guys wish to have a look yourselves, we have some updates. Cristiano took down Mindo VK 2-0. And now we have our upper semifinals. It is going to be Cristiano versus Geralt. Let me just message some players. And get things rolling. I'm going to shout out to Mindo VK for advancing on into the quarterfinals the way that he did. But Cristiano is a bit of a step up here. Cristiano and Geralt, 2 of the stronger Protoss players in Europe. And I say that obviously top 3 in Europe are still, you know, max pack, Showtime, and Skilless, but just underneath them, you have players like Cristiano, like Geralt, like Mana, and Hearthstone. They're all there, kind of vying for those slots. And it's gonna be a hard call. It's going to be a very hard call here between these 2 players. They go back and forth. Most recently, we did see Geralt bring Cristiano down in the most recent House Open Cup. That did happen in the grand finals. But Cristiano, it's not like he hasn't brought Geralt down in the past either. I'm expecting this to go to the ace match. I'm hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping for a full series, but we'll see. It's a PvP at the end of the day. Like, anything can happen. Anything can and will happen between these 2. Let's go. Let's go. With that, we should be getting the predictions ready as well. Predictions are going to be setting up here for our PvP. And our players, they do need a little bit of time to get their vetoes underway. They do need some time here. So we might just go on a short break. Again, there's just not too many updates here. We're reaching the tail end of the tournament. We are reaching the tail end. I mean, as a reminder as well, this is only our first broadcast of the day. After we wrap up Sparkling Tuna Cup, we're going to be live with WTL. World Team League starts in an hour. There's a chance that maybe our tournament runs over WTL, just because, again, we're on a tight schedule here, and WTL's in an hour. We will, of course, finish our broadcast here. We will finish Sparkling Tuna Cup, and we will start WTL once we wrap up. We're not going to be like abandoning our tournament to jump into WTL at the beginning. So our WTL broadcast might be a bit delayed. Might be a little bit delayed, depending on how long our matches are. Just as a heads up. Just as a heads up. Until then, it looks like our players, they need some time there. It looks like they need a moment to get those videos underway. So we're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we will have our PvP. We will find out who faces off against Wayne in the finals. Will it be one Protoss or the other? Will it be Geralt or Cristiano? Get ready for your gamba. Get ready for your predictions. and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the upper semi-finals, to our second last series of the night of Sparkling Tuna Cup number 51. Welcome back, everyone, and as we settle into this PvP, if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you believe will advance on to the grand finals to face off against Wayne in that PvZ. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkione, we have our Polish Protoss player, the red Polish Protoss representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the other Polish Protoss player, the blue Polish Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is Geralt. Go. But again, predictions are open for another minute or so place your bets while you can upon hearing this message. Get your gamba going. Otherwise, we're settling in. As a reminder, Wayne is waiting in those finals for his opponent. Shout out to Nickrat, of course, made it all the way to the semis, was our highest or longest standing Terran in the tournament. He has since fallen. And now which Protoss will rise? For now, 2-gate opener. Double gate opener out of Cristiano, double gate opener out of Geralt. So far, so good. Are settling into some more standard openers to kick things off. There's no hidden pylon out on the map. There's no proxy. We have a probe scout coming in from Cristiano. Geralt actually does also have a probe in the main base. Gets eyes on the pylon. Second pylon is confirmed. And likewise, we have the second pylon in the main as well. So both Cristiano and Geralt are fully aware that there is no proxy. They do confirm each other's second pylon locations. So no proxies in sight. And now we're getting to our initial units of choice. It is going to be a sentry-based opener here from Cristiano. Cristiano should be cancelling... Yeah, I was going to say should be cancelling the Zealot. There we go. Stalker Sentry. Meanwhile, Geralt opening up Stalker Sentry as well. I'm curious if Cristiano will cancel this the Stalker and throw down a faster Nexus. Speaking of canceling, there it is. We cancel it, we throw down a second Sentry. And we're trying to go for a slightly faster expansion. You see Cristiano, he does have that extra minerals, or those extra minerals. Does follow it up with additional sentries. Both players pylon block each other. And the pylon does complete. Gonna be focused down. And Cristiano will be the first to expand. There we go. So a slightly greedier build here by Cristiano. That's why he didn't make a single Stalker when pure Sentry, as they are cheaper. Now this does mean that Geralt does have a little bit more firepower available to him. And he's following this up with Double Adept. Stalker Sentry into Double Adept. Is going to attempt to harass. Is going to attempt to get some economic damage done. Hallucination comes in. Hallucination does get eyes, barely, on those Adepts. But the important part here is that we confirm that there is an expansion. It's not a one-base all-in. We confirm the tech. Twilight Council is on the way. Here comes Geralt across the map. Let's see Beko in the chat. Gamba, papi. Yeah, let's go. Yo, we get some indie enjoyers in the chat. Shama, papi, shama. As we go for the Colossus Scout into the main. Geralt's raining down upon the probes. Causing a nuisance, but does get a full scout. Does confirm that Blink is on the way. Adepts, they try to shade in. We block the wall up. Oh my god. We block the pylon with the Colossus. Adepts, they get in. Probes are going down. Geralt, he's making this so worth it here. 5 probes full. We got 6. Not quite 7, but 6 workers. Very nicely done. Again, thanks to the Colossus, there was no pylon block. That I was not ready for. Okay. Well, I should say, I'm not too sure if the Colossus was specifically blocking the pylon, but was distracting Cristiano and causing a bit of chaos. So we do have our Adept shading in. They threaten to shade here across the map as well. This time Geralt in position again. Geralt does have a nice worker lead. getting into our blink-based opener. Third base has been thrown down. Geralt extending that economic lead by getting a faster third. Cristiano, how do we respond? How do we respond as we go for our own third base? Geralt does confirm with the hallucination. He at least saw the pylon. Hasn't seen the base itself, but he can piece it together. Can assume. Cristiano does slip in. Pushing towards that third base. Once the force to cancel, does get a kill on that shield battery. Ends up saying shade into the natural at the same time. Cristiano trying to pull Geralt apart. And he is getting some probe kills. Probes are going down. With our reinforcements, Geralt, he should hold on to the third. As sentries are falling. Hallucination not really tanking too many shots. But with these reinforcements, Cristiano, he is gaining ground. Oh, gets another 2 stalkers. Gets 2 more stalkers, but will be forced back. You can see how battered and bruised the army is for Cristiano. It's barely alive, barely standing. Has to retreat. But he did kill a couple of probes. He did kill a handful of workers at the natural, so he makes up for it. Does catch up with the worker count, catches the adepts as well. Adepts do full. Cristiano is going to pull back, reinforcing, working towards the rest of his gateway composition. This is similar to what we saw versus in the series between Minuvike and Eva, where we have charge on the way, the Forger +1. Cristiano, he's doubling down on a mass gateway composition. Geralt, meanwhile, I believe, did just make an immortal, so he's supplementing his army here, getting some immortals instead. I believe Geralt, yeah, he has avoided charge for now. Charge just delayed, is now on the way. Observer will confirm that upgrades on the horizon. Geralt has a presence on the map, but can't get much done here as Cristiano takes a 4th. So does Geralt. So we're calming things down. Again, this map is known for its longer macro play. There's plenty of bases to be taken. There's the goal base as well that we can try to work towards. There's always something that we can try to capitalize on. We're calming things down and getting into our 4-base setups. No major tech switch yet, like there's no Phoenix production, there's no disruptors. We did make the 1 immortal, and I was assuming that Geralt would commit a little bit harder, but no, it was just the 1 immortal. It's still mainly a gateway army for our blue Protoss player. Oh, as Geralt, he's out of position! Oh, he's at his 4th base, and we push towards the natural, we catch the immortal! The immortal is barely going to be not going down. We save it. 3 HP. The overcharge was clutch. We barely keep it alive. Cristiano is doubling down. Massive warp in of Zealots. We dive on the army, force back the blink. The immortal is exposed. The immortal will finally go down. Geralt, he does miss that juggle. Does miss the pickup. Overcharge is on cooldown. Cristiano, he's gaining ground here. Yeah, it looks like he's pushing through. Here come the reinforcements. A wave of Zealots come in. And Geralt is being forced further and further back. The prism goes down. And the shield battery is out of energy. Looks like Cristiano, he has broken this third. Again, it was a brutal way to start the fight. GG gets caught, and Cristiano takes a 1-0 lead. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, Cristiano just wedging himself in between the natural and the third, catching out the initial immortal. Didn't go down, but it take a lot of damage. Geralt scrambling to defend, forced to use that, forced of course to use that overcharge early on as well, instead of during the main fight. In the end, Cristiano does take a lead. One more game is all Cristiano needs to advance onto the grand finals. Meanwhile, Geralt, the pressure is on. He has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. We're loading in to Golden Aura. And one of the more popular maps in the map pool. We've seen this quite a bit here in the new season. We've been seeing a lot more Alkyone, a lot more Goldenrod, a lot more Side Delta. Just all the older maps. As many as we can get. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our red Protoss player. We have a red Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming down in this series. He needs to fight back here and now to force that ace match. The pressure is on. It is Geralt. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Tiziana. Go. See in the chat some Euthermal fans. Let's go. I did hear that Euthermal did compete in today's tournament, and I was actually just inquiring and messaging some of the other players because I wanted to find out. Apparently Euthermal did not play random today. He did play Terran. So we'll be updating the Wikipedia with that. But yeah, that is a change that has been happening recently, so I was really curious if that was a trend, where Euthermal, in the most recent week of WTL, stopped playing random. He intentionally has been playing Terran in WTL as of late, so I wonder if maybe he's casting aside his random and now embracing Terran again. Just to try to, I don't know if I want to say, like, take things more seriously, but try to, you know, rely on his strengths here and take it to some of these other more full-time pro gamers. So exciting to hear that Euthermal's embracing his Terran once again. But we'll keep an eye out to see if he does go back to random or keeps playing Terran in the coming weeks. And even right after this, as Euthermal is going to be competing in WTL tonight for Offside. Meanwhile, it is going to be a double gate opener here from Geralt, so we do see Tiziana doing the same. 2 gate openers all around. It's going to be a 2 gate opener. And we did see in the last game, Cristiano just cut some corners, and once again, we do see Cristiano canceling the Stalker, going for the Sentry. Cristiano does want a slightly faster expansion, as the probe is going to be shut down, which means there's no pylon block. Geralt does get his own Nexus up and running. He did skip his 3rd and 4th unit, so he delays his next wave of reinforcements. Gets the Nexus, so does Cristiano. Okay, so kind of a different way to be economic, but we got there in the end, where Cristiano went pure Sentry and Geralt just skipped his extra wave of units. Just a different way of getting there. So Hallucination does move out. Out, getting a scout across the map, confirming everything. We have a Twilight Council on the way. Cristiano is fully aware. Likewise, we should be seeing Geralt going for his own scout as well. I'm here. Yeah, he's got the Hallucination, does confirm Twilight Council as Blink is on the way all around. Meanwhile, Geralt spicing things up, going for the proxy pylon right outside the main. And I am mad. Oh no! We scout! We confirm. I was gonna say this should be for a proxy Stargate, but we force a cancel. Geralt is spotted. He has to get the hell out of here. Does pull away, does pull out. And the proxy shenanigans are not gonna come to pass. You can see Cristiano is gonna confirm whether or not the pylon has been cancelled. Let's check. Nation moving out across the map, confirming whether the tech was thrown down back at home instead, and it is going to be a 3rd gateway here for Geralt. Looks like he just wants to expand. No, I say that he's he's still committing. We have our pylon on the left-hand side instead. We have not expanded. Not yet, at least. Show us the gateway. Show us that gate. Geralt, he has the money for it. Okay, there we go. We have the gateway being proxied. We still throw down the third, but it is later than that of Cristiano. So 4-gate blink. It's going to be 4-gate blink from Geralt. Doubling down on his stalkers. Meanwhile, Cristiano, he opened up and he still has only 2 gateways, so 2-gate blink into a third. Geralt has double the production. Double the production capability here to just overwhelm Cristiano. Shield battery's not done, and the shield battery's exposed. Is going to be cancelled. Very nice pick up there from Geralt. Force fields are thrown down. Blink is done. You catch a stalker. But Geralt, he doesn't have his reinforcements here. He just cannot keep up. He's going to be bleeding out a lot of his units. We catch the sentries. We get a stalker. Some expensive losses for Geralt. Bleeding out another stalker. Oof. Bearing in mind that Geralt did delay his expansion and he did double down on all these gateways, he needs to get more done. Cristiano still has not replaced that shield battery. Ooh, that's a little bit greedy. There's no backup shield battery, no overcharge. Looking at the units tab here, Geralt does have the stalker lead. His army is spotted. With Cristiano, he has force fields. Does have force fields available. Immortal production behind this. Now we have our 3rd and 4th gateway. Cristiano is catching up. The Adepts that caught out Cristiano, even taking a 4th, but Cristiano right out of position. Geralt's going for the 3rd. Let's hit that 3rd base. Cristiano not too far behind. We'll save it. And we'll even get a stalker. And he has yet to confirm the gateway, the proxy. Cristiano is unaware, but you can see the disparity here in supplies. Cristiano does have a nice lead. Going in. Splits up some forces, going for a depth harass. Geralt taking his own 4th base on the low ground. A much more exposed 4th here from Geralt. We'll see if he can hold on. Also, because he knows he's down in stalkers, we have immortal production on the way to make up for that. We'll have those defensive immortals. Adepts, they don't get any economic damage done. They shade away, but we do keep up. Geralt still reinforcing on the front lines. How will these armies compare? Both armies have 1 immortal each. We have comparable stalker counts. Geralt does snipe 1 stalker. Charge is done for both players. Geralt does have that +1 advantage. But he's going to be pushing into shield batteries. Pushing into the overcharge. No backup shield battery. We collapse on top of the sentries. Sentry goes down. Immortal as well. Great start for Geralt. Cristiano just caught out of position. Immortal comes in from behind. We should be able to snipe the Immortal at least. But the Prism goes down. And Geralt, it looks like he barely may have enough. I mean, Zealots are helping though. The Zealots do clash. Immortal adding in some DPS in the back line. We're running out of Zealots. But Cristiano, he has the Stalker lead. And he will force Geralt back. Oh my god. Even without the shield battery, without the overcharge, we do hold on. Geralt is that much more committed. Replacing those immortals. So is Cristiano. More Zealots on the way. Now, if Geralt bleeds out too much, then he's going to trigger a counterattack. And defending this 4th base is not going to be easy. Geralt himself has been skipping shield batteries, as he's been the aggressor. Keeping Cristiano on the back foot. Geralt even thinking about the gold. Does think about it. Gets a couple stalkers, backs off. Zealots here towards the left hand side, distracting Cristiano, and now we throw down the Nexus. The gold is on the way. Cristiano, he has been stuck at home. He doesn't know. He has no idea what Geralt is up to. Finally depowers that gateway. Moving out with his main army. +2 just finished up for Geralt, so Geralt does have the upgrade advantage. Cristiano, can we find a good angle of attack here? Shield batteries are not done for Geralt, but they're on the way. Just need a couple more seconds, and they will finish. Shield battery is going to complete. Cristiano doubling down, still has no eyes on the gold. Doesn't care. Get the concave here, not looking too bad. Zelda going down, we down with the shield battery. Overcharge is denied. There are 2 immortals on the low ground. And we're running out of Zelts, we're thinning them out. The immortal goes down and Geralt, he's getting on top of the stalkers. We do warp in some Zelts, so they do come in to reinforce. And Geralt is being forced back. He has to give up on that low ground base. He doesn't want to though. Is trying to hold on. But again, the numbers are in favor of Cristiano. He's just overwhelming Geralt. Without the shield battery, without the overcharge, not too sure if we can hold on. And the scary thing here is that if we lose this base, we're going to lose the gold as well. As we catch the immortals. The immortals go down. Cristiano will lose the prism. But he's done it. He has broken the 4th base. The Nexus is going to go down. There's no escape for these probes. Cristiano, you can just go for the kill. Geralt, he's run out of steam, he's run out of army. We have a reinforcing immortal, but it's not going to be enough. Slow warping is brutal. And sure, Geralt, he has snuck out that gold. It's helping. It's helping him sustain himself, but the stupid doesn't lie. Not here, not now. GG gets called, and Cristiano will take the series 2-0, getting his revenge from the House Open Cup, and will advance on to the Grand Finals. GG. Back. Oh my god. GG, well played. Cristiano will take the series here. Geralt was able to take the best of 5 earlier, a couple of days ago, but here, Cristiano, he gets his revenge, will advance on, and we have our finalists confirmed. We have our confirmed finalists. It's going to be Wayne versus Cristiano. Wait, when was the last time we had a Zerg player in the finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup? That's an interesting one. Don't get that too often. We have our grand finals. We have our PvZ. Before we get ahead of ourselves, before we get into the finals, though, we have a raffle. We have a random raffle pack. Should let the players know. Just letting them know. And for those that are unfamiliar, we have a participation raffle. Something unique that we have for the tournament is that every player that has participated here tonight, whether you're a pro player, whether you're an amateur, is eligible for 5 USD. It's not too much, you know, it's a nice little bonus here that we do have just to incentivize participation, just to spread the love and spread some of that prize money to some of the other players. I mean, again, regardless of whether you got knocked out in the first round or if you made it into the grand finals, you have an equal chance. You have an equal chance to earn some extra prize money here. And who's it going to be? Who will it be? Okay, from the top, we have 19 eligible players for this week's random raffle. And one is going to walk away a little bit richer here. I have a drum. No, that's I still need like a drum kit soundboard. And this week, congratulations to our random raffle winner. Congratulations to Rostock. Oh my god. Congratulations to Rostock for becoming our random raffle winner this week. So he's going to walk away a little bit with a little bit of extra prize money here. Rosso, quickly just double checking. He went down to Nicaract, if I remember correctly. Let's quickly check the bracket here. Yeah, you can see at the very bottom of the bracket, Rosso got knocked out in the first round, in the round 16. He got knocked out 2-0 by Nicaract. Despite that, get some extra prize money. So GG, well played, well played. Congratulations, Rostock. Shout out to all the runner-ups there. You can see Carowin, you can see Ashbringer, Keen, Droptimus, Geralt, but only the number one does walk away. I just need to let our players know. Congratulations. To Rostock. Congratulations, Bobby. Again, for those who maybe are unfamiliar with him, he is a Ukrainian Protoss player. Protoss player from Ukraine, representing CSO Esports, if I remember correctly. I believe he's on CSO. Weren't able to cast him here tonight, but do catch him from time to time. And vetoes are underway. Wayne, he was like, oh, I thought it was going to take longer. Okay, we get it. It's all good. It's all good. So vetoes are underway, and our finals is going to be upon us. I just need a moment here to set up the predictions as well in the chat. We'll set up those predictions. Finals. Best of 5. Striana versus Wayne. Beautiful. Okay. And when it comes to this finals, it's going to be a best of 5, of course. It's going to be a best of 5, not a best of 3. So we have that many more games ahead of us. That much more to come. We go. And yeah, this is also a team kill as well. I'm curious how close they are as teammates. For a very long time, Cristiano was on Team Blazer. For many years, Cristiano was representing Team Blazer, which I believe is a Polish-centric team. But a couple of months ago at the start of the year, if you remember, Starlight Twinkle lost a player. They lost a key player in Nice. Nice, the Taiwanese Protoss, was on Starlight Twinkle for a good amount of time, did leave the team, and that did kind of leave a gap in their WTL roster. Again, World Team League is something that a lot of these teams take very seriously, and we needed someone to step up. We needed someone to fill in the shoes of Nice, and that someone is Cristiano. Cristiano, after some time, did end up leaving. Team Blazer has now joined the ranks of Starlight Twinkle, and now their kind of A roster, their ace team is Cham, Wayne, and Cristiano. Not a bad lineup, to be honest. Not a bad lineup whatsoever. So yeah, really cool to see Cristiano now being supported by another team, and I'm sure, you know, able to get some more benefits from that as well. I know that the players, they come together on a weekly basis to compete in WTL, but again, I'm not too sure if they practice together. I know that different players have different practice regimens. Some players enjoy doing customs, others they rely on the latter. Does depend on the player. True. Exclamation mark rigged. True. Exclamation mark reading that. Protoss gets the prize? Sounds rigged to me. True, papi, true. Check-in still open? Exclamation mark Funada ad hon mono. Where were you? With the waifu. Este hon mono. Euthermo did this Colossus hallucination adepting. That's why I said it. Oh, okay, cool. It's good to hear. It is cool to hear. Este hon mono. Open the check-ins. We're in the finals, papi. Shaking my head. Este hon mono. Oh. But yeah, we are going to be entering the finals. I believe that we are going to be late to WTL. WTL is scheduled to begin in 20 minutes, so we're going to be focusing here on the finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup. Once we wrap up, we're going to be casting WTL from a delay. What I mean by that is that WTL is broadcasted via a clean feed, and we will be casting from the beginning. So we're going to be like behind like maybe half an hour or so, and I'll do my best to like catch up and speed through the breaks and catch up with the live broadcast of WTL. We'll do our best. We'll do our best. Until then, Cristiano did ask for a moment, did ask for a short break, so we're more than happy to accommodate. More than happy. So Cristiano does need a moment, and when he returns, we can begin our finals. Returns, we can begin. Cham Wayne? We drink that at New Year's Eve here. Ahí están. Oh my god. Yes, the Cham Wayne. Be careful what you drink. But yeah, Cristiano, he needs a moment, so we might just go on a short break. He said he didn't need too long, but maybe something came up. You know, maybe something's going on, so we're gonna be going. Oh, never mind. We have it. We're good. We have our players. We have our vetoes. We have our lobby. Game 1 is gonna be on Oceanborn. And once our players ready up, the finals will commence. It's the Honmono. I was about to say that Honmono was one of our regulars that wasn't here this week. He's usually helping represent the Terran race in our tournaments. Not this time. Oh, right. I wanted to double check. When was the last time we had a Zerg player in the finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup? It must have been Wayne, right? Or maybe Eva? Maybe. Oh my god. Okay, the last time we had a Zerg champion was last year, 2023 November. That was Eva. But the last time we had a Zerg player in the finals was a couple of months ago. Sparkling Tuna Cup 44, Nikic. That was Nikic in the finals. Nikic was in the finals. For those that are maybe unfamiliar as well, we have nothing but champions here. Both these players, I believe, are... Wait, are they? No, never mind. Okay, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. He is a Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. He has, I believe, 2 wins. 2 wins under his belt. Can he claim another? It is Wayne. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. He has the most Sparkling Tuna Cup championships under his belt with 11. Can he go up to 12? It is Cristiano. And if you are in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you believe is going to be our champion this week. Will Cristiano continue his reign, or will we have our first Zerg champion of the year? Predictions open. Again, Cristiano, he's had a dominant performance so far here in 2024 when it comes to Sparkling Tuna Cups. He has been a champion time and time again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's won 4 of these in a row. Oh my god. Cristiano, he won 4 in a row, and we are going for a proxy hatchery across the map. So Wayne, he's not committing. This is not an all-in. This is to disrupt the opener. It's to force a bit of chaos, force some denied mining time, and to delay the expansion for as long as we can, as Wayne is expanding. But yeah, Cristiano, he went in a 4-week win streak, and then that win streak was broken last week, but that was only because Cristiano wasn't here. Cristiano, he didn't compete last week, so instead Nightmare was our champion, the Korean Protoss. Not Cristiano. Here we go, Wayne getting close to that first win of the year. And again, to to counteract that as well, we haven't had a Terran champion this year either. We haven't had a Terran champion in 2024. It's been purely Protoss. Will the trend continue, or will we break? Will we break that trend? Avatar Council open. Sorry, Council Stargate opener here in the main base. Stargate into Oracles. Again, this expansion has been heavily delayed for Cristiano. And we should eventually be able to get that back up and running. Wayne back at home, expanding, taking his third. Has been happily joining up. Has a decent link count here to make sure that these Zealots don't get out of hand, as the first Zealots were forced out by Cristiano. Finally we expand, but Jesus, this natural is so delayed. It's so late for Cristiano. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. As Zealot Adept, they do hit that hatchery. They do get here across the map. The Lings, they come in for a surround. Zealot going to be going down. We do collapse on the Adepts as well. But a very nice positioning out of Cristiano. He does avoid this round for as long as he can, trading as efficiently as possible. And he's not cleaned up. Will maintain himself and waddle back home. Again, trading 12 Lings for a Zealot and an Adept. We'll make it back home. Ooh, and now we can get into and settle into our Oracle production. But again, it's just such a really rough opener here for Cristiano. Still on one base, still hasn't expanded. Ideally, we want to be talking about a third base right now for the Protoss. Speaking of, Wayne is here to stop it, but we don't really have the resources for it right now. I say that probe is coming in. The third is going to be denied. Oracle moving out. Lings, they collapse on that Zealot. Didn't quite get the surround they were looking for. And there's a lot of pressure on Cristiano to bounce back and to get some kind of economic damage done. We have our queens back at home. We have 2 queens at the natural. We have 2 queens in the main. Forced out. And Wayne is freely droning up. Really saturating his bases. Now, bearing in mind, even though Wayne has been a little bit more comfortable here, his drone count actually isn't too high. He's still only on 42 workers, and we're moving up with vanilla Adepts. I like this. Cristiano, he's adapting to his position. He knows that, I mean, we can't really afford to get into Glaives or Twilight Council. There's a lot of pressure to get damage done now, and there is no Roaches. There's no Roach Warren. There's a handful of Lings to defend, a handful of Queens. We shade in. The Lings are being shut down. We're going for the mineral line. Drones are falling. We get 2 workers, but we still need more. As we shade into the main. Don't quite get any worker kills with deny mining. Lings try to engage 24 Lings in production. Once again, good positioning here behind the mineral line. Ooh, drones are being targeted. We came back too soon. Wayne came back a little bit too soon. 8, 9 drones go down. Almost 10. And just like that, Cristiano, he cripples the economy of Wayne. Wayne down to 33 workers, and we're going all in. It's a Bane bust. We have +1 melee, we have a Baneling Nest on the way, no more drones, pure Ling here from Wayne. He's had enough. One way or another, the game is going to end. Can Wayne kill Cristiano here and now? Will Cristiano survive? Can he take this? Shield batteries on the way, we're working towards a Templar Archives for Archons. Baneling Nest still not done. We're a couple of seconds off. And Cristiano, I don't think he's aware. I don't think he knows. He hasn't seen the lack of saturation, the lack of droning. Immortals are on the way. We're making pros. We need army. We need units. Here come the Banelings. 10 Banelings in production. Here we go. Now we see. Now we know. But is it too late? We focus on as many Banelings as we can. The Lings, they get a surround. The Zealot's going to be going down. The Archons are on the way. Ooh, the Banelings, they crash into the pylon. We have the overcharge. It is not going to be enough. GG gets called. Cristiano holds as Wayne runs out of steam, and Cristiano takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Yo, there's something about Cristiano. We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. This was when he had won his 4th Sparking Tuna Cup in a row. I'm just saying. Coincidence? Something's coming up. Something's a little bit fishy in more ways than one. Cristiano. Is he a tuna? That's the only thing that makes sense here. Is he sparkling? He has to be. GG, well played. Cristiano does take a lead in the series, but that was merely game 1. It's a best of 5. It's a best of 5. Talking about that previous game, of course, Cristiano was able to get so much economic damage done across the map. He forced the all-in. The all-in was a little bit stifled because of how many workers had fallen, so we didn't have the best economy to sustain it. And so important there that Cristiano was able to get eyes on the Banelings ahead of time. He focused them all down. The Banelings, they crashed in. They didn't get any damage done. And those Archons were beautiful in that position. Archons against Ling Bane is ideal. There was no answer to them. Cristiano holds. Cristiano does hold. I just saw in the chat, the last Zerg champion went Protoss. True. You're not wrong. that is actually true. But it's all good. Here we go. We're diving into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of a Ghost River. We have our red Zerg player. Oh my god, going for a 15-15. Representing Starlight Twinkle, it is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle, as well as they are teammates from the land of Poland. It is Cristiano. Here we go. This time, Cristiano will not be hatch blocked. He'll be able to expand without too much issue. We do have our gateway going for a probe scout across the map. Wayne opting to go for the 15-15. For those that are curious, this is designed to get your hatchery up and running before the probe arrives. So there is no pylon block. There is no delay on the expansion. The downside is that Wayne will have delayed gas. It's going to be 15 hatch into 15 spawning pool into delayed gases here. Means that we won't have Link speed anytime soon. It means that Cristiano is going to be safer back at home. So is Wayne. So a very safe opener from Wayne. Just to get his economy going. Just to make sure he doesn't get pulled apart. Just to make sure. And we'll see how Cristiano takes from here. Like, we saw that last game, sure, we went into Oracles, but it was a very chaotic game. Like, there was a lot happening from almost the very beginning. With the Adeptoras, with the hatch block. With the initial Zealot push as well. Based on the pylon placement, it's looking like a Stargate. Again, typically, if we wanted to hide our tech, the pylon would be thrown down a little bit further back behind the mineral line. Chris Tunaner. Oh my god. Confirmed. I need to know. Do need to know here. There's that Stargate thrown down for Cristiano. Again, based on the pylon, it's closer to the edge of the main base to reduce the time it takes for the Oracle to get across the map. To just be as efficient as possible. Or as aggressive as possible. Adept is moving out, back at home. Wayne is droning. We have a handful of safety links to keep up with the Adept harass. And Wayne should be looking to expand. But this third base from Wayne is quite delayed, actually. Interesting. Third base is going to be delayed. We're still just droning open our 2-base setup instead. Cristiano making sure he gets eyes on that. Likewise, I'm sure Cristiano, things are racing through his mind. He wants to make sure he doesn't get all-in. Speaking of an all-in, that is a fast lair, a very fast lair. Okay, this could be a couple of different things. This could be a Nidus. This could be for a Nidus-based all-in for Ling Queen. This could be Dropper Lords. I mean, we could go for like a Ling Queen Dropper Lord all-in across the map. Roach Warren is thrown down. Okay. We're taking additional gases, working towards that Roach Warren. Now, all-ins are favored on Ghost River. I didn't even get to mention it, but this map has the shortest rush distance map in the entire map pool. Very short rush distance. So Queens, they can just walk across, but I'm picturing Dropper Lords. I mean, I say that, we should be seeing Overlord speed on the way if that was the case, but there's no Overlord speed. Adepts, they shade in, they get eyes on the Roach Warren, and they shade into the main. Cristiano, he sees everything, he sees the fast lair. Sees additional gases, and alarm bells should be ringing. Back at home, we're setting up with a Robo into Immortal production. No shield battery yet. We should be seeing some side defense. Roach speed is on the way. Wayne knocking down these rocks, making the rush distance by ground even shorter. And it is an all-in. There's a shield battery on the way. Second pylon as well to keep everything powered. So Cristiano, he's seen everything he needs to. He also sees the Roach Warren researching, so he knows now what the lair is for. He's aware of the upgrade. And the goal here is defend, is survive. Easier said than done. Is easier said than done here. Oracle dips in, takes a lot of hits. Queens are amassing, rocks are being knocked down. Again, we haven't droned in quite some time. 38 workers, that's all we have. No third base. The rocks have fallen. And we're committed. Back at home, Cristiano is still getting his third. Bold move by Cristiano, working on that Nexus. We do have a second shield battery on the way. Third pylon. Immortals have arrived. Archons, likewise. There's another shield battery. Stasis trap on the high ground. Cristiano, he's had a lot of time to respond, a lot of time to react, but does he have what it takes to survive this? The rocks have fallen. Stasis trap goes off with the Lings. Getting onto the Roaches. Good positioning with the Immortal. On the ramp. Queens are trying to force their way up. Juggling, looking solid. We have that. Oh no! We take down the Prism! The Prism goes down. Archons as well. That was brutal. We have the overcharge. Oh my god, but the Biles, they bring down the Oracle as well. Wayne popping off. He files down the Oracle and the Prism. GG gets called. Ay, ay, ay. And Wayne ties up the series. GG. That I was expecting a lot of things in that all-in. That I was not. Oh, that was a bit brutal there. Again, Cristiano did maybe overthink things and maybe over microed as well. The Prism was biled, the Oracle, like things very quickly escalated out of control. And with that, we're tied up. We're going to game 3. Oh my! I could feel the pain when I saw the Prism goes down. That was like a blow to the chest. I was, oh my god! I could hear the color screaming out in pain. Oh my god! Jesus. GG. And with that, we're headed into Amphion. This morning, in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our red Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle, being forced into the ace match. Can he bounce back? I'm hoping he can shake it off. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, also representing Starlight Twinkle, tying things up 1-1. It is Wayne. Catching up in the chat. So do you guys prefer still or sparkling tuna? Is that a thing? As in, so there's tuna, obviously it comes, or it doesn't have to come in cans, but tuna commonly coming in cans. And tuna in water is a thing, right? Tuna in water, like canned water. Have people tried sparkling water with that? That would be wild. That'd be crazy. Get on that. Ay, ay, ay. I saw in the chat, 0 chance this works. Sorry, my fault. Yeah, we don't have to talk too much about the end of that last game, but Cristiano, he had everything he needed there to pull off a defense, but things very quickly just, yeah, went awry in favor of the Zerg. So settling into our gate expand. I think he wins with no Prism Micro. It's possibly. As you know, we're shaking off that last game. Okay, we're shaking it off. It's all good. It's okay. Wiping the slate clean as we get into Amphion. just standard opener here from our Protoss player. Likewise, Wayne going for a more standard hatch gas pool. Loading into Amphion, there are some unique features of this map. One of those is the triangular third, where it can be a little bit safer, a little bit more secure, thanks to the point of elevation, the high ground, the rocks, the minerals you have to work through. So you can try to be a little bit greedy. And even then, the linear third base here, even though it's on the low ground, it can be quite difficult to engage as well. Curious how and when Cristiano does take a third. As we have our tech of choice, Stargate opener. Stargate is on the way. The depths are moving out. And with this, we should be getting to our Oracle opener. I don't expect us to go into Void Rage or anything too crazy like that. Swain does dip in. And can he get a probe? Collapse on the workers. And one probe does go down. Good pickup. Slipping into the main, we get a full scouts up as we go for a second probe. And this time we don't quite get it across the map, but it does shade in, but is forced out. Thankfully, we'll escape with its life. Does get the hell out of there. Oracle's on the way. Wayne was not quite... No, he saw. Never mind. I was like, was he able to scout? He was. Was able to scout that Stargate. He's aware. And is getting ready. Cristiano is moving out, heading across the map. Third base is going to be on the way for our Protoss player, and we're settling into a much more standard game. Again, we've had quite a dynamic and aggressive game 1 and game 2, but now we're settling into game 3. We're actually droning, actually expanding. Evo Chambers on the way for, I imagine, +1 melee. Oracle slips into the main, 2 drones. Not a bad start. Cristiano will get away. Joining forces with that second Oracle. To have that Twilight Council follow-up, interesting. So Cristiano, he does cut Oracles at 2. He does not make a third Oracle back at home. Getting to his Twilight Council on a Forge. Working towards, I imagine, +1 in Blink, but Cristiano, he has been one to dabble in Archon play. Into Chargelots and Archons. Baliness is thrown down. Is going to be spotted by Cristiano. Does get eyes on the Baliness. Hits the third base. Queen's a bit out of position. Drones are going down. 3 full workers fall. And we're not done. We have Adepts on the ground as well, as Wayne is getting pulled apart a little bit here. They collapse on the army. We shade into the mineral line. Drones are going down. 6, 7 workers fall. We deny mining at the natural. And Wayne, he's not droning. He's massing up more lings. The Baliness is done. And I feel a Bane bust ahead of us. Uh-oh. As we get 9 drones. Not quite 10. 9 workers go down. And we're droning. Whew, okay. I was like, yo, we gonna commit? I mean, we kind of are. The lings are moving out. But Wayne is droning. Is attempting to resaturate. You can see Cristiano taking this seriously. We have a shield battery on the way at the natural and the third. Oracles, they make it home in time. Lings are forced back. And we spoke about those Archons. At least we spoke about Charge Archon. And there it is. No charge yet. But there are the Archons. Archons are on the way. And we're getting ready for the Cristiano special. We've seen this a lot. Cristiano was able to use this to defeat a Laser and Rainer in WTL. It's building up a heavy Immortal and Archon count. Charge on the way as well. I'm going to say that usually we get a faster Robo with this for faster Immortal production. So I'm curious how Cristiano builds this up. But we have seen this build actually, I wouldn't say become quite common, but it's been picked up by a couple of other players, like embracing this more Archon Immortal composition and style. And they've been having some success with it. Having some success. Slings Aether in the natural. Oh, catch a Zealot. No Immortals, by the way. Prism's on the way instead. We're doubling down on Archon Chargelot. Okay, no Immortals. Let's go. The Oracles, they get across the map. They get even more damage done. 6 drones go down, and one of these Oracles will not go down. Oh my god. That's insane. 17 works in total as the Queens, they sneak up on the Oracle, but we do not quite cash it. The Oracles, they will get away. And there we go. The Immortal production now commencing. There's a second Robo. So for a moment there, I was like, yo, maybe we're not going Mass Immortal. Nah, it's happening. It is happening. We're doubling down on those Immortals. But before we get into them, we're pushing. 5 Archons. We've got charge lots. Do we move out or do we harass? Curious, as we're not. We come back in! Oh, we are getting punished so hard for not having a Spore. Like, no Spore at the third. It has been so abused here throughout this game. Spire is done. We're getting to Mutas at least. And I believe the Spire has yet to be scattered. Checking the vision. Yeah, the Spire in the main base has not been seen. And there are no Blink Stalkers. We do have Archons, and Archons can help, but Archons are also so slow and so immobile. Drop coming into the main. Big moment here for Cristiano as he finally does see the Spire. And Phoenix is immediately on the way. Archons, we get 3 drones, recall back home. Cristiano is getting ready. We have cannons and shield batteries being thrown down. Does he have enough time though? Especially because it's only 5 mutas. We're not committing. We're committing to roaches, not to the muta army. Mutas, they're merely a distraction. More than anything, we need Immortals. The Immortals need a ground army here for Cristiano. Wayne pushing out towards the 4th. The Oracles are being chased down. We catch 1. Almost a 2nd. Wayne about to max out. Catching an Archon. A nice collapse here for Wayne. 1 Archon goes down immediately. Ooh, we force out the overcharge as well. That was a bit premature. Overcharge is going to be off for cooldown. Wayne pushing in. Cristiano is making 2 Immortals at a time. Storm is done. So we land a good storm on the roaches. At the same time, the wall's on the wall. No! The Lynx, they flood into the natural. The wall is wide open. We do warp it in time, but again, there is no overcharge. Zealot's doing what they can. Storm's running back the army. Prism into the main. Zealots are getting some damage done. And these Lings are being cleaned up. Again, those cannons from earlier, they're actually helping quite a bit. The Lings are being shut down. Only 3 probes went down. And Cristiano, he is holding, he's defending, he forces this back. Storm on the army, on the roaches. And we have 2 more souls where that came from. Ooh, massive connections. And Wayne, he's just being completely cleaned up. The Biles are not looking too bad actually, but GG gets called. He was completely all in. And Cristiano holds. Cristiano takes a lead in the series. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Cristiano, he did not overcommit to the muta defense. That was like a really important part there for Cristiano. But on top of that, the Oracle harass was insane. Not just the Oracles, the Adepts as well. We killed 17 drones throughout the course of that game in the lead up to the fight. And Wayne, he was just stuck recovering, trying to restabilize his economy there. Committed to Roach Ravager, but up against double Robo Immortal production. Cristiano, he had the ideal. The Ling Run-By had a lot of potential, but we saw that the Ling Run-By only killed 3 workers. The Zealot drop across the map killed 7 drones. Saw that Cristiano, he was able to defend and even counterattack and delay the economy and just force Wayne even more all in. GG, well played. Cristiano was ready for that, and now we're settling into our next game, potentially the final game of the series. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of site Delta, we have our Red Zerg player down in this series. He needs your energy, he needs your support in the chat to fight back and to have a chance at that ace match. The pressure is on. Representing Starlight Twinkle, it is Wayne. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player leading the series 2-1. One more game is all he needs to become our champion once again. It is Cristiano. Let's go. Oh, wait. Spam this Spain to help out Wayne. What is this copy pasta in the chat? What's happening? He's not from Spain. Or is he? Can we take him? Is that a thing? Can we kind of arrange something with Ageddon and with Vortex and Luciferon and somehow adopt Wayne? Shaking my head. As it is going to be a Hatchgas pool standard opener here out of our Zerg player. It's going to be a standard opener back at home. Cristiano going for his gate expand into his cyber core. Nothing too crazy here in the early game. I root for Demau or anyone else in that order. I root for Harstem or anyone else in that order. Who do I root for? That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't been too fanatical about a player in a long time. Like, obviously, I was a big Axiom fan and Axiom adjacents. I guess that's who I root for. Axiom and Axiom adjacent players. So that'd be like Crank, Alicia, Ryung, Heart, Impact, Pimpact, Bobby, Scarlet, Innovation, MMA, True, Patience, STC. Out of all of them, the only players that are still active are Ryung and Scarlet. Ryung and Scarlet. From the ex-Axiom Acer days. Smooch. Otherwise, I don't know. I love all our players. Oh, no, oh, sorry. Obviously, all the CranKy Ducklings. But that's a given. That's a given. I have been known to be hard on my children, to be a little bit harsher on like Miguelito, Vindicta, or Eric, or Dolan. But that's only because I love them so much. No, it's tough love. It's different, Bobby. It's different. Oreo as well. Este Oreo. Starduck, especially Starduck. There's a lot of tough. There's a little bit less love for Starduck. I'm shaking my head. Este Starduck. I'm getting riled up. Now we're settling in. So far, just going to be droning, getting into our 3-base setup. Likewise, Cristiano working towards his own third. It is going to be an Oracle opener. Once again, not really deviating too much here from the side of Cristiano. There was no thought behind the Spain. It just rhymes. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Go Wayne, smell from Spain. Go now with refrain. Let's go. The chants are real. Let up section into the main. Ooh, don't get much done. Only the one drone goes down. A little bit lackluster there as Cristiano did commit. Oracles are still being active, getting up to 2. Looks like once again we are skipping the third Oracle. Just sticking with 2 for now. Go Wayne, go USA. Oh god. Oh, as that Oracle harass from that previous game was insane, and we do manage to get a couple more workers here in the natural. 2 drones do go down. Oracles take a lot of hits. Behind this, we're transitioning into our Forge and our Twilight Council. Plus one and Blink, I imagine, on the horizon. I mean, we saw in the last game that we just skipped upgrades and went straight for Archon Production and Immortals, but I don't really think that's something you want to rely on too often in a series. As we get 7 drone kills. Oh my god. Cristiano, calm down. To go for the run by in the main base. 7 drones go down. And Wayne, we need to tighten up this early game defense. We saw in that last game that we were punished so hard for skipping the sport the third. Do we do that again? As the Depth Shade in. We commit to the shade. Drones are going down once again. We get 2 more workers. But this time we have Lings. This time we have Queens in position. And we shouldn't get much more than that. 4 workers go down. Ooh, but that could have been so much worse. 4 workers for 4 Adepts. Still though, we can't afford too many losses. The Oracles are going for that third base once again. Cristiano, he sees the lack of Spore. As Lings do slip in. The wall is not a wall, by the way. It's wide open. Stalker goes down. Lings, they bust into the middle line. 4 probes fall. Wayne finally dealing some counter damage here. We're not done. We're not done. 7 more probes go down. And we get a full scout of the main base. It looks like once again it is going to be that Archon style, where we skip upgrades on the Twilight Council. There's no blink, there's no charge. We're going straight for Archons and Immortals. It is a very similar build to the previous game. It's very. I say similar because if you remember, in the last game we delayed Immortals in favor of a War Prism. This time there is no Prism. We just go straight for the Immortals. Cristiano, he's building up that death bull of an army with Archon Immortal Storm. And can Wayne break him? Can he keep up? Let's say shade into the natural. I have more drones going down. 3 workers in total. Oh, and I did notice the invitation bit earlier. It's going to be for Swarm Host. Okay. I do like this. So, Swarm Host is seen most commonly against Protoss whenever a Protoss player goes charge. Reason for this is, you know, without Blink Stalkers, it can be more difficult to keep up with Nidus Swarms and with Swarm Hosts. So, Cristiano doesn't really have a mobile army. He's going to have a hard time keeping up. There is potential for Swarm Hosts to pop off. There is potential. Nidus Swarm is finishing up. And we did not scout the Nidus. How many Swarm Hosts do we have? 8. 8 Swarm Hosts diving in. Nidus Swarm on the way. And how much damage can we get done? Again, the first Locust Wave is going to be the most important. As after this, Cristiano is going to be more prepared for it. Nidus Swarm finishes. And we're coming in. Cristiano does respond. Trying to get a read on what's going on. Storm, halfway done. Almost. The Nidus towards the south. Locust Wave comes in, hits the 3rd. And Cristiano, he's in position. We go for the mineral line. And we do target down a couple of workers, but we should clean this up. Oh my god, I say we should. 6 probes go down. Not bad, but again, I'm sure we were hoping for a little bit more. Wayne is about to max out. Locust Waves continue. Cristiano will force this back, but here comes the ground army. Coming in from behind. Storm was 10 seconds away. We catch the Immortals. 1 Immortal going to be falling. We're going to get the 2nd as well. We throw down a Panic Storm, but these are some massive pickoffs. And this should not have happened. Again, Cristiano caught out of the open. And we reset the Immortal count, getting every single one. Just 1 Immortal left. And sure, we clean up Wayne's army, but Wayne, you can remax. You can remax, you can rebuild. That was how many Immortals falling? 5! 5 Immortals going down and 2 Archons. And as a Protoss player, it takes so long to rebuild this. It takes so long to remax. Cristiano, he's up against the wall. Wayne, we're pushing in once again. This time with Queens. Transfuse keeps the Nidus alive. Locust Wave hits the non-existent 4th. Just a little bit awkward. Locust Wave doesn't get much done. As Cristiano's expanding towards the north instead. Zelarambai comes in, runs into Lings. There's a handful of drones, but not much more than that as we do hit that southern base. Okay. Cristiano forced to turn around. He brings everything back home. Wayne forced to come back, bringing everything back home. And Cristiano is buying time. Cristiano is buying time, rebuilding those Immortals. He's got plenty of Storms to work with. Our 4th base is finishing. But we're not there yet. Wayne is pushing forward with everything he has. Storm does help, but the Locust Wave collapses on the Archon. Doesn't get it. We had to pop the overcharge. Cristiano, he does shut down the Nidus. Doesn't want to get caught on the map. We can see that Wayne has had enough of Storm Hosts, but working towards Lurkers instead. It'll be Hydra Lurker Viper. The ideal against a ground-based army. One of the ideals. Well, the Miles! Oh my god! The Miles were insane, and we catch out the High Templar. We catch the Immortals as well. Cristiano a little bit distracted by his own Zealot run by. Ay, ay, ay. Sienna, we need to... Look, maybe there's like a setting he has on his PC where he doesn't see the bile effect, because it's been happening a couple of times. But again, just his attention was spread thin. He was focusing on the run by. His biles were brutal. Okay, Cristiano, he was on the road to recovery, but now he gets knocked back down. Does get knocked back down, and Wayne, we're now working on our lurkers. Hive is done, lurker upgrades on the way. Stormhost still being active. Now what I will say is that Massive Mortal can actually deal with a decent amount of lurkers. They do quite well tanking shots, and if they get a good concave, then they can break a siege line of lurkers. That is true. But there is a point where you hear critical mass of lurker. Is a point. Right now, we're not quite there yet. We have 8, working on 3 more. 11 lurkers in total. Alright, this one's a finishing. Cristiano clearing up quite a bit of creep here in the center of the map. Going for a run by. Into the main army. And we do have 5 swords available. The lurkers are getting here just in time. Pushing into these lurkers, it's not going to be easy. Do manage to catch a lurker. Getting that 4th base at the same time. They'll run back here at the 3rd. But the 5th is going to be denied. Oh. You have to be careful with those High Templar. Again, Cristiano's army is so fragile. Wayne pushing in. Oof. Another wave of Swine Soul. Wave does connect. Charge are coming in as well. These lurkers are exposed, by the way. We're going in. We're collapsing on top of the lurkers. Where are the roaches? Where is the support? The lurkers are getting cleaned up. Yeah, Wayne out of position. And these lurkers are not done yet. They just finished. Spine shot's going to be going off. Quick split there out of Cristiano. Cleans up every single lurker, and he has done it. He's bounced back. Again, lurkers, we needed that Roach Ravager. And I can't believe it here, Cristiano. He has done it. He has broken the back of Wayne. There's nothing left. The Ravagers go down. The Lurkers go down. GG gets called, and Cristiano, he does it again. He is going to be this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. GG, well played. And Cristiano will take the series 3-1. That is his 5th win of the year, I believe. That is his 5th win here from the side of Cristiano. Congratulations. Congratulations here. Again, I think it's been like almost every time that Cristiano plays in the Sparkling Tuna Cup, he does come out as the champion. Well played. Well played. A shout out to Wayne for making it to the finals. A really good effort. It was a very aggressive series here out of Wayne to be just very much so in the face of Cristiano. In his face, going for all-ins, going for Bane busts, and did make a series out of it. Unfortunately, in the end, was not able to force the ace match. I was hoping for a game 5, but is not meant to be the case. And with that, congratulations. Congratulations to Cristiano. GG, well played. Just messaging our players. And with that, that wraps up our first broadcast of the day, but now we're getting ready for WTL. World Team League is going to be coming up next. I do have to turn the stream off for a moment. I mean, I guess I don't have to, but yeah, the stream is going to be going offline for a moment as we're going to be setting up the overlays and the delay and just all the assets as well, just as a heads up. So the stream is going to be going down, and then we're going to be diving into our next series. We're going to be diving into our next series here. Into World Team League. See you then. See you then. So don't go anywhere. I know the stream is going to go down, but the stream is going to come right back up with World Team League. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. If you're not interested in WTL, then we're going to be live again tomorrow with ESL Open Cup Asia. ESL Open Cup Asia is going to be tomorrow in less than 24 hours. Until then, the stream is going to be going down, and we'll be back with some World Team League action. See you soon. See you soon.